Soo High Blue Devils football is brought to you by All-in-One Fitness, Dean Garlinghouse Farm Bureau Insurance, Parker Ace Hardware, Side Street Salon, Arfstrom Pharmacy, Gaylor Thompson Sales and Service, and your local McDonald's of the EUP.
The Blue Devil Station, WSOO.
Blue Devils football on 1230 WSOO is also brought to you in part by M&C Water Systems, Old Mission Bank, Leeds Sports Center, O'Connor's Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, Reed Metals, Skinners of Pickford, Central Savings Bank, and by Roden Roth Motors.
My name is Scott Nason, filling in for Dave Watson for this Saturday afternoon affair between the Soo High Blue Devils and Ogemaw Heights. We'll be joined here in a few minutes by color commentator Pat Bennin, as it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Sault Ste. Marie as the 3-1 Blue Devils set to take on 3-1 Ogemaw Heights. Our broadcast engineer, Emily Pentecost, back in the 1230 WSOO studio, as the Blue Devils, well, they're coming off an 8-7 overtime victory last week against Petoskey in what was a very defensive affair in the first half and the second half, as neither team was able to score in the regulation. Soo High's defense held the Northmen to just one extended series and one first down in the first half, while the Blue Devils, they were in the Petoskey red zone twice but could not cash in, but they would get the victory in overtime after Petoskey scored a touchdown and had an extra point. The Blue Devils would get a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion from sophomore quarterback Jacob Davey. And it was a very exciting game and a very big win for the Blue Devils as they improved to 3-1 on the season. And a game where they're going to have to probably win this one, in many people's opinion, to get into the playoffs. But there's lots to be said, and we're joined right now for the first time working side by side with color commentator Pat Bennin. And, well, Pat, we were talking about the game on Friday. You and Dave were here for that one, a defensive affair to say the least. The Blue Devils win 8-7. Your thoughts on that game?
It was a well-played football game. You know, a lot of people say 8-7. It was 0-0 at the end of regulation. Probably wasn't really exciting, but there was a lot of drama, a lot of excitement in it. Soo High's defense, I think, all year so far has played outstanding football. It is what they're built on, and that's our strength of our team right now is our ability to stop people. So, you know, a great football game, a big win for Soo High. Anytime you knock off Petoskey, who turned around and beat Marquette last night.
Yeah, how about that?
So, you know, the more opportunities for playoff points as this goes on. And it's a big game today. Obviously, two teams 3-1 coming in, and both teams battling, trying to get into playoffs. Ogemaw has struggled the last couple years. The Sioux has struggled a little bit over the last couple years. So both of them looking at this game as a critical matchup.
And, Pat, you know, looking at the Soo High Blue Devils before the season started, you looked at the season. Obviously, you need 6 wins to get into the playoffs, and they're 3-1. This really the halfway point of the year. It's been an eventful 4 games, starting with that game against Sheboygan, winning late, and then going down to Alpena, beating them on the road, coming back against Marquette, a tough night all around for the Blue Devils, winning against Petoskey. At the beginning of the season, if you would say the Soo High Blue Devils would be 3-1 going into this game, would you have taken it?
Oh, absolutely. I think they would have taken it with smiles, and right now they've got to be very happy with where they're at. You know, beating Alpena on the road, falling down to Sheboygan 16-0, and then coming back and winning, and then gutting one out last week to 8-6. And you know, I was at the Marquette game, and yeah, it was 31-0. I think is what it ended up, but really special teams and a couple turnovers cost us in that game. The defense, I thought, played sound all game long. It was just they were put in bad spots throughout the game, and you know, when you do that, we don't have a real explosive offense, and if you put good teams with short fields, it leads to danger.
And let's look at this defense, Pat. Again, this is my first time looking at Soo High, but it really starts on the line as lineman Nick Dautremont. I think I got that one right. One of the favorites for all UP honors at season's end, along with fellow Matt Eddington. They anchor that defensive line, which has really played well for the Soo High Blue Devils.
That has been a big key, and those two guys are big kids up front, and what they do is what they're doing this year that they didn't do last year is they're taking on those blocks, drawing a couple double teams, and that's allowing our linebackers to step up and fill the holes a lot easier. You're going to call a kid by the name of Lujan all night today, and he has done a great job from his linebacker position, along with Feebles. Vinny Feebles has been playing extremely well, but they've been great, I think, all over the field. The one thing they haven't done a whole lot of that I've called is they haven't caused a lot of turnovers, but they haven't allowed a lot of big plays either.
On the offensive end, Pat, sophomore quarterback Jacob Davey, I mean, what can you say about his start 3-1? Soo High, traditionally not a team that passes a lot, but they do with Jacob Davey. His play has been very good, and he's found a few favorite targets as well.
Yeah, he's been solid. He's a playmaker. Last year as a freshman, he got a great learning experience there, and he's made a couple big plays. He made a big throw against Alpena. He made it on fourth down when a lot of people thought we were going to punt, sealed the game with that first down. And then last week on a 2-point conversion when we had gone up the middle a lot, he faked it and took it around the end and was able to put it in. He's a leader out there. He's done a nice job for the offense. It's not an explosive. I've said it a couple times. They're not real explosive. They're going to grind it out, and that's what they do. But he definitely is the catalyst that keeps them going.
Pat, this game very key to the Blue Devils and really Ogemaw Heights as far as getting into the playoffs. Both teams 3-1, and you look at this Soo High schedule, have a few games left. 4 after this. They're at Gladstone. Just one home game left. They'll be home to Rogers City. They had to move that Ludington game down to Ludington, who's a very good team as well, and then at Gaylord. So this game goes a long way, in my opinion, towards this. You win this one, you need 2 of the 4. You lose this one, you need 3 of 4. Granted, you can get in at 5-4, but this is really a key game, in my opinion, for the Blue Devils to get into the playoffs.
It is, but I also think it's a catapult type game. I think if they can get this one, they got Rogers City coming in next, or Gladstone and then Rogers City. And Gladstone, it's struggling a little bit. They got off to a nice start, but they've struggled the last little bit. I think a lot of winnable games, but this is a big one. If you can get to 4-1, you have that possibility then, if you win 2 or 3 down the road, of hosting a home playoff game instead of being on the road that first week. So, again, as you said, a big game for us. I don't know if you want to call it critical, but it's close there. I think both teams are looking at this one as one of those things that'll bounce them towards the playoffs and make life a little bit easier as you head down the home stretch.
We're going to take a break in our Blue Devil pregame show. We come back, we're going to go through some of the scores from last night and more. You are listening to Soo High Blue Devil football on 1230 WSOO. Scott Nason, Pat Bennin back at A.J. Van Sitter's Field here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan for Soo High Blue Devil football. We're about 6 minutes away from the opening kickoff between Soo High and Ogemaw Heights. Pat, there were some games played last night in high school football. Let's start with St. Ignace. They had another shutout. They were on the opposite end, not the end you want to be, against Harbor Springs, losing 16-0 in a game you heard on our sister station, Oldies 93. The Brimley Bays, 4-0 on the season. They lose Marcus Harris on the first carry of the game, and boy, they got smoked by Cedarville by the score of 48-6. A bit of a surprise score there.
Yeah, but I think with Harris going out early on, that probably affected Brimley a little bit. I mean, he's been their leading ball carrier, and when you lose your best player in the first play, it makes life difficult. But yeah, 48-6 was a little bit shocking.
Pickford Panthers 4-1 on the season. They cruise over Rudyard by the score of 48-0. Jimmy Story, 2 touchdowns for the Panthers, 1 on the ground, 1 in the air. Stephen Lamoth, he has 3 touchdowns as well. Pickford, after that loss to North Central, where I think they had 7 turnovers, they scored 80 points last week. They crushed Rudyard. They're still a very good team, and they're going to be one of the teams to beat in 8-player football.
Oh, absolutely. And maybe that loss will wake them up a little bit. Anytime, I think they came in with high expectations, and those haven't dropped. But that a little wake-up call when you get beat early on, and hopefully they regroup, and it sounds like they're playing good football right now.
Newberry at home during homecoming. They won their first 3 games, their 8-player debut season this year, and they've dropped their last 2 as they fall to defending state champion in Division II and 8-player Rapid River by the score of 58-24. And looking at some of the games involving Soo High opponents coming up, Pat, Rogers City, who will be Gladstone, who will be the next Soo High opponent. They lost to Maple City Glen Lake by the score of 31-7, along with Rogers City, who will be playing, and I think we're going to have the anthem coming up here, Pat. Did they do the anthem?
We got a few minutes.
All right, good, thank you. Rogers City, who will be the next home opponent for the Soo High Blue Devils. Well, they're having a bad season. They fall to 0-5. They were thumped at Oscoda by the score of 54-0. Ludington, they are 4-1 on the season, as well as they top Fremont by the score of 35-0. And Gaylord, who's the final opponent for the Soo High Blue Devils, they will be taking on Traverse City Central this afternoon. So, again, Pat, you look at that schedule, You have Gladstone on the road. Dave Watson will be there for the call of that one next Friday. Rogers City here, Ludington on the road, and Gaylord. Not an easy schedule for the Blue Devils going down the stretch.
No, you're right. It's going to be fairly tough coming down the stretch. As we said, this is kind of a pivotal game for us. Gladstone, very much a winnable football game, I think, coming up. Ludington was ranked in the state. They did get knocked off once, but they're still they're pretty solid. And Gaylord's been up and down, and but I look at it, and I think every game is winnable for Soo High. There's a couple, you're not seeing one that you're going, oh boy, we're in huge trouble here. I think they're going to be in every football game, and so far they've been able to pull off those tight, close victories.
Some other scores across the UP last night: Houghton over Gwynn, 28-24. Westwood Oliver, Manistee, 52-19. Menominee 35. Boyne City nothing. Calumet over Norway, 47-13. Escanaba at Kingsford wins 31-8. Iron Mountain over Bark River Harris, 42-0. Nagani 40, Ishpeming 12. Lance 14, Lakeland and Hubble nothing. And the score you mentioned, Pat, a little bit of a surprise, I guess. Petoskey 19, Marquette 14, but it kind of proves, it seems like the opponents with Soo High and how high school football is so far this season. I think anybody can beat anybody on a given night.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. And I don't know what the weather was like. If it was raining down there, then it would be advantage Petoskey, because watching Marquette, they like to air the ball out quite a bit. If it was rainy and windy, it would make it difficult for them to move the football. They did not run the football well against us. So my gut is they would have a hard time there, and that would be an advantage for Petoskey. But as you said, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So you got to be ready to play every week. And 6 wins is the magic number, and hopefully Soo High can take another step today towards that.
Hancock 41, Munising nothing. Crystal Falls Forest Park 68. Kearney Nadu 27. And one other score last night: Ontonagon 26, Stevenson 16. And you have a couple games this afternoon. We mentioned the game down at TC Central with Gaylord, Gogebic at West Iron County, and Engadine at Superior Central. We're going to take our final break in the pregame show as we're going to have the national anthem sung. And when Pat and I come back, we'll have the start of this key game for Soo High as they take on Ogemaw Heights. You're listening to Soo High Blue Devil Football on 1230 WSOO. Back at A.J. Van Sitter's Field on this Saturday afternoon, Scott Nason filling in for Dave Watson, joined by Pat Bennin, as we are just about set to go here on a beautiful, sunny, a little kind of a fall-like day, Pat, a breeze coming out of the northwest. But, hey, if you're a football player, you got to love this weather.
It's perfect weather for football. There's a little bit of breeze, but not as bad as it could be, and just great weather. Not too hot, not too cold. A great Saturday for football.
So the Soo High Blue Devils and Ogemaw Heights Falcons set to kick off here. A little bit of a delay to start as head coach Scott Menard having a chat with the officials out there. Soo High in their home jerseys, the blue tops with the white trim, along with pants and helmet. Ogemaw Heights in their road white jerseys with the kind of brown, kind of like the Wyoming uniforms there, Pat, look like over there alongside. Soo High has beaten Ogemaw Heights, I think, 3 straight. Close one last year down to Ogemaw Heights, both teams 3-1. So playoff implications on the line, to say the least.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. They're both teams 3-1. Looking at this as a game that can catapult them towards the playoffs and probably put them in a good position as we are at the halfway point of this season. So that would be a big thing for them. But I got a chance to talk to Coach Campbell, the defense coordinator of the Sioux, before this game, and he said, the critical thing here is they're going to run like a veer offense. Their quarterback is very athletic, and that's going to be a key for them to stop. He's obviously talking to the offensive staff a little bit, same type of thing we've seen all year. They got to grind it out. They're not an explosive offense. It's got to be a grind them out type of game. Limit those mistakes, and special teams could be critical here. We struggled with it against Marquette. Played much better with it against Petoskey. Got the win, but special teams really put us in a bad situation against them and put us in difficult situations all night long.
The first playoff point rankings were released by the Michigan High School Athletic Association just this past week. Soo High in Division 4, and if you do the bracketology, and it's a little tough to do, you got to get the points and geography and who would play where. Right now, if the playoffs started today, which they don't, Soo High would host Ludington, ironically, the game that they had to give up because lack of officials. So, obviously, lots to play for right now. Escanaba and Cadillac would be the other two teams, but it's way too early, Pat. The magic number is 6. You get to 6, doesn't matter any math you do, you're in, and it's going to change next year. So Soo High wants to get to that 6 because next year, new conference, new way they go about it. It's going to be a whole new ball game in the state of Michigan.
Yes, and you're kind of like Joe Lenardi right now.
You like that? You like that?
Dave.
Does Dave do that?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. He doesn't have a map of Michigan with all the little dots on it.
We're fancy here.
Oh,
We're
you're
fancy
big
here.
time,
We are big time.
You really prepped.
Exactly.
Glad I looked at the paper last night. I went Googling for all the West Branch stuff.
You like
last
the map?
night.
I drew the lines, and we did the whole thing like your social studies class there, Pat. We're getting all fancy.
Oh yeah.
So the coin flip is going on right now as the Soo High Blue Devils again 3-1 on the season, taking on Ogemaw Heights 3-1. Only one more home game after this. It will be in 2 weeks. A week from Friday, Soo High will take on Rogers City, a team that's really struggling right now, 0-5. They'll be at Gladstone next week, and that's another opponent. Pat, traditionally Soo High and Gladstone play a lot, and Soo High beat Gladstone last year. Going out there, though, it's always a tough place to play, Gladstone.
Oh, anytime you got to go up to the western end. That's good football that direction, and it will be a tough battle, but I think it's one of those ones where this is the part of this game. This is critical. If we can get this win, I think it really gives us a huge boost of confidence going up there. And and they're struggling a little bit, getting knocked off the last couple times. And again, last night I believe did they get beat by Maple City Glen Lake? Is that who they played? Yes, they did.
Yeah, it was a good team.
Oh, very good football team. But they get knocked off, so they've lost their last 3. So, again, if you can get that, you're coming up a couple big wins. They have 3 losses in a row, so the momentum would be in your favor. But you got to get your business done today first.
Want to let our listeners know that the podcast of this broadcast will be available on the website, thegamesportshow.com, along with our brand new show on ESPN 1400 called The Game, Monday nights, 6 to 8 o'clock. Pat, we'll have to get you on that show here as we get closer to basketball season. Your Michigan Wolverines, Pat.
Oh,
I know it's been a little tough.
Wolverines, I think it's the guy upstairs. Michigan Wolverines. He was very. Oh no, Ben.
Okay.
Dietrich's.
Oh yeah, 52 to nothing over Rutgers.
When I talked to him today, I made one comment about him wearing a hat. I said that's kind of dangerous today.
Michigan fans are a little touchy these days.
Yeah, we're up 31-0.
Didn't know he played for him actually. So here we go. The Falcons will kick off to the Soo High Blue Devils. Blue Devils will get the ball going right to left on your radio dial. And special teams again, Pat, you said big. It really cost them in that Marquette game. And that's something of any area of the Soo High needs improvement, it's there.
Yeah, and it's going to be one of those battle of field position. When you have a good defense, field position is a big deal. And special teams are very critical to that part of the game.
Jacob Ryan kicking off for the Falcons. We are underway here at Van Sitters Field. Ball taken by Robinson for the Blue Devils. He'll run along the near sideline, get across the 30, and he'll get almost to the 35-yard line where he's ridden out of bounds by number 68. That's Josh Golan. And the Soo High Blue Devils will have their first possession just outside their own 30-yard line as we start this one here on a Saturday afternoon.
And you're going to probably see a steady dose of Chris Pierce and Ryan LaPlante and Husky a little bit for the Sioux running the football. That's going to be the big thing. Same guys we talked about on defense, Dotremont and Eddington. They man that offensive line as well, and they've been creating some pretty good holes for the running backs to run behind.
Ball be on the 33-yard line of the Blue Devils, 1st and 10. Pat, I've been doing so much 8-player football, it seems weird to see all those guys out in the field right now, I've got to be honest. Davey will take the snap under center. He'll hand it off. That'll be number 9, Husky, with the ball. Maybe a yard on that one, bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, went to the right side, and that's where they had their success last week, was running on that right side of the field. But unfortunately that time, Ogemaw stepped up, made the play. But the big thing here, and what you'll see, is they're going to just continue to trust this running game, try to wear them down, and by the 4th quarter, it starts to wear on that defense, and that's when you see Soo High start moving the football. You're not going to see a lot of explosive plays like you see in 8-man football.
We'll give them a yard on the carry. 2nd down and 9. Ball at the Soo High 35-yard line. Scoreless, 1 minute in. Now Davey under center again. 3 in the backfield. Now motion. Davey will take the snap. He'll hand it off. And Husky kind of lost his footing there. Nice tackle by Gleason for Ogemaw Heights. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. He stumbled there because he looked like he had a little bigger lane there to run. And if he would have kept his footing, he would have picked up the 1st down. Going to bring up a 3rd down here for the Sioux. And 2 quick carries by Husky. He gets the ball, but normally it's Chris Pierce is the workhorse for the Sioux.
3rd down and looks like 4, Pat. Now Davey under center, same formation we've seen in the first two plays. They're going to hand that one off to Pierce. Pierce going to try to bowl ahead. He's going to get one, but he's tackled by a bevy of Falcons. And so now a fourth down situation for the Blue Devils.
Yep. Tried to go straight ahead, but that time Ogemaw beat our offensive line off the ball pretty quickly, and inside their defensive front really put a stop on it. Fourth down, and you got to figure Soo High in this situation will punt the football away.
Yeah, ball on the 41-yard line. You want to get good field position this early, not risk anything so far, and let that defense, who's played very well, go back on the field. Now let's see here. It looks like
they're
going to go for it, Pat. So,
or maybe try to draw them off with a hard count.
That's true. Now Davey under center. Falcons aren't budging. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to do, Pat, is that's going to be they're going to call a timeout, so we'll have a timeout on the field. Not a bad call right there. Try to get a mistake early and get an easy first down.
Yeah, especially with Ogemaw went back to look like they were going to field a punt, and then they go under center, rush those guys up. You never know if you get a guy to jump off. Didn't happen. No harm, no foul. Punt the ball away, I would guess now.
Sioux Greyhound Hockey on our sister station Rock 101 tonight with Jerry Liscombe Jr. as the Hounds 3-0 on the season. They make their first road trip down I-75 to Saginaw. That game will be around 7 o'clock. Pre-game show about 6:30, 6:35 on Rock 101. And then tomorrow, Pat, Detroit Lions, undefeated, the first place Detroit Lions take on Kansas City. We'll have the pre-game show starting at 11 o'clock on our sister station, Oldies 93. But they have a very good opponent, Kansas City.
Oh, it's going to be a good game, but I've been rubbing it into every Packer fan I can find right now.
My two sons being a couple that you can on Monday there, Pat.
But I'm hunting them down right now.
Oh, that play calling in that game, I would scratch my head. So here we go. Soo High will punt, number 12. That's Chris Pierce. Back to kick for the Blue Devils. Bad snap. Again, goes high, but no rush on it. Pierce should be able to get this kick off. Oh, and it's a line drive kick, but it's going to take a good bounce. Nice play there by number 84, Jacob Ryan, as he'll take it inside Soo High territory. Flag late on the play, Pat. That one, not how you write it up, but it could have been a lot worse for the Blue Devils.
Oh, it could have been real worse. But again, there's the Achilles heel of Soo High a little bit is their special teams. Snap went flying all over his head. Lucky to get the kick away. Now we got a flag. I'm not sure what this is going to be here.
It was after the kick. They threw the flag. Might have been maybe an illegal block on the Falcons. Didn't quite see it. We'll get the call from the official here. And you tell me what that is, Pat. I have no idea what that sort of call is. Okay. Blindside block. Okay, well, there you go. So I was close.
I didn't know if this was an illegal touching.
I didn't know what he was doing out there, to be quite honest. That's a new one on me.
I thought maybe an illegal touching, and then the other one's the blindside block. That's kind of a new call they've come up with.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, I saw it today in the Michigan football game before I got here.
Yeah, I did
and they
too.
waved it off.
They did wave it off. The first touchdown, I believe.
Yes, they got to. You got to make eye contact before you can block anybody.
So the Falcons with the ball, 9:28 to play in the first quarter, no score. Their first possession, and they will line up in the I formation as quarterback number 4, Calvin Beck. He's a senior. Will take the snap for the Falcons. Now he'll drop back, look to the near side, pass complete. No, dropped. As that was number 85, Jared Getzinger, the tight end, had it right in his hands, but he forgot to catch it.
Yeah, and that's a big target out there. He looks to be about 6'5", 85 does Getzinger, but good thrown football by Beck. Just
very good.
Dropped the ball. One of the things that Coach Campbell did mention is he said they've got good height on their wide receivers and tight ends, but I haven't seen them use them a lot yet. But right out of the gate, they come out throwing.
Second down and 10 for the Falcons. Ball at the 38-yard line. Now motion as two players go to the left side of the line. I formation again. Beck hands it off. No, he'll keep it, and he'll get about 4 yards. He'll be tackled just over in front of the Ogemaw Heights bench. Looks like Dallin and Luan with the tackle for the Blue Devils. That'll bring up third down.
Yeah, and that's the other thing he mentioned was that read option, quarterback read option, and there you saw it right there. They belly it into the halfback, and he'll pull it out, and that's Coach Campbell also mentioned that. That's going to be a big key for them to stop. Luan again there on that stop, and that's a kid you're going to call a lot today.
Third down and 5. 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. Still no score. Ball on the Falcons' 44-yard line. Now Beck under center. Man in motion. Now he'll pitch it. And a run down the far sideline. That's a good one. Walters, he's going to get out of bounds and give the Falcons a first down. Big gainer on that one.
Yeah, they got good push off the left side and put him in motion and then just pitched it out to him, and he got the corner, Walters did. And doesn't look like Ogamaw's going to test a lot up the middle. I think you're going to see them try to use their speed and quickness and get to the sidelines.
Yeah, so far so good for the Falcons. Their first down, 8:35 to play in this first quarter. No score, 1st and 10. Falcons, ball just outside the Blue Devil 35-yard line. Ogemaw Heights 3-1 on the season. Their last game was a 48-0 win at Lincoln Alcona. Now Beck behind center, man in motion. Now Beck, going to be a counter play there. And a couple yards there. That was number 3, Caleb Gleason. It looks like Bennett Swanson in on the tackle for Soo High.
Yeah, nice job of the defensive front. And then obviously not over pursuing against that counter and filled well from that spot was Swanson.
Ogemaw Heights
Hilgendorf was the other kid.
Yes, indeed. Ogemaw Heights has also beaten Gladwin in their opener 26-21. They lost to Kingsley 36-19 and knocked off Detroit Edison 34-14.
Yeah, and that Kingsley's another team that's undefeated right now and knocked off St. Francis, who has beaten Marquette. So this is a fairly quality opponent Soo High's playing today.
2nd down and 8 for the Falcons. I formation once again for the road team. Now Beck going to hand that one off. No, he's going to keep it. Maybe a yard gain on the play, as looks like Chase Hilgendorf in on the tackle for the Blue Devils.
And that's the second time he's come in from that defensive end position and done a nice job closing down on it. And that's a big key, is that read option. They say the quarterback likes to keep it. He's got good speed. It looked like he handed it off, but he didn't. He pulled it out, and Hilgendorf stayed on it and made a nice tackle.
Clock running, 7:15 to play in the opening quarter. No score, 3rd down and 8 for Ogemaw Heights. Ball on the Blue Devil 34-yard line. Familiar I formation for the Falcons. 2 set to the right. Now Beck drops back, looks to the near side, and that pass way over the head of number 85, tight end Jake Gettenzer. So that's going to bring up 4th down.
And you got to figure here, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it in the field situation they're in. They're inside Soo High's 35-yard line. You got to figure they're going to go for it here on 4th down. I was kind of shocked they didn't run the football, knowing that they had 2 downs to pick up that 1st down.
Junior varsity game was won by Ogemaw Heights before this one, 27-0. They had a kicker in that game. He was 3 for 4 in extra points. Not sure if the varsity team has a kicker per se, but it's something we don't see Soo High use. Now here we go, 4th down and 7. Ball at the Blue Devil 32-yard line, dropping back is back, looking for that tight end, and complete. And I think they got it, Pat. It's going to be close, but the spot's going to give them a 1st down.
It's right on the line, and it looks like it is.
Yep. And Ryan's down, the tight end that caught that one. He's slow getting up.
Yeah. Big target, as we said, and he took a pretty good shot, but he hung on to the football. That time it was 84, so they have 2 big 85 and 84. Ryan and Getzinger are big targets out there for them, and they both look to be about 6'5".
Yeah, Ryan going to the sideline right now. Looks like he came down hard on one of those shoulders on the hit. And so 1st down and 10, Ogemaw Heights, 6:45 to play here in the first quarter. Ball at the Blue Devil 25-yard line. So now we're going to have Beck behind center, I formation, 1 set out to the left. That's Gleason. Beck takes the snap. He'll hand it off. Nice tackle there by the Blue Devil player, number 59. That's Dalen Yuan. You said it. You will say his name a lot. Nice open field tackle there.
Yeah, Lujan did a nice job of coming up there, picking up there, and we've called his name a lot. If he's not an all-UP linebacker, I'll be shocked. He really did a great job of filling and stopped it before it went anywhere.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 halfway through this first quarter. No score and a beautiful, sunny late September day here at Van Sitters Field.
For Soo High, again, I think just stopping that read option is going to be big. I don't know if Ogamaw's comfortable throwing, even though they've completed the 1 pass, of throwing a ton here. So if they can stop that little read option, they'll be in good shape.
2nd down and 10. Now man in motion for the Falcons. They'll hand it off up. No, it's going to be another read option. As you mentioned, Pat, maybe a couple yards on the gain. Lujan again with another tackle among others.
Husky and Lujan in on that tackle. And again, the big thing here is their quarterback is going to take a pounding all night long. I mean, that's a lot of running. And normally you don't want your quarterback to get hit that much. But if he's going to carry the football, he's going to take a few hits today.
So maybe a gain of 2 on the play, Pat. Going to bring up 3rd down. Oh, we're going to have a flag on the play. I didn't see it. It was over on the far sideline. We're going to have a legal motion or formation. Blue Devils are going to decline that one. Okay. Curious call there.
Oh, yeah.
But it brings up a 3rd down and looks like about maybe 7.
I'm not sure what. That must have been an illegal formation.
Yeah. Now we're going to have a timeout on the field with 5:32 to play here in the first quarter. We're going to have a 3rd down and about 7 for Ogemaw Heights off the timeout. Soo High's next game will be at Gladstone next Friday night. Dave Watson will be back from his travels as he is down in South Bend right now.
Yeah, the guy goes everywhere in the world. I don't know what sports he doesn't get to. Between the Tigers, Frozen Fours, South Bend, I mean, the guy's a world traveler when it comes to sports. And then just when you think he's done, he flips off to Mexico for a couple weeks.
I need to talk to his agent.
I know.
Clearly, I'm not doing something right in this broadcast thing here, Pat.
Neither am I.
We'll keep an eye on that one as the Notre Dame will be taking on Virginia. Michigan, a final 52-0 over Rutgers. Michigan State and Indiana just getting underway. Wisconsin was a close one for a while, Pat, at 24-15 over Northwestern. That Badger team that looked really good. Maybe a letdown game, if you will, against Northwestern, but Northwestern's not a bad team either. So here we go. 3rd down and 9 for the Falcons off the timeout. 5:32 to play in the opening quarter. I formation, Beck behind center. He's going to drop back, look to the near side, throw complete. And that's going to be maybe a little short of the first down. Completion to Gleason.
That's very close. I think he got it. Yeah, he did. He's beyond the 15, down. So it's a first down. And they're showing, and everything is rolling to the right. He is not looking to go left at all. Everything's going right. It's a pretty simple pattern. They got 2 guys going out. One goes deep, one goes underneath, and they found the underneath guy 3 times. Well, actually 3 times they've dropped one, but they've picked up 2 critical third downs on passing situations, 3rd and long.
Falcons moving the ball, 1st down and 10. Ball just inside the Blue Devil 15-yard line. Back behind center, I formation once again for the Falcons. Quarterback keeper, he'll get a few yards there. Looks like that was Deacon Suggett, I believe, on the tackle. Rather check that. That was Dutremont, so bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, Dutremont came in from that spot. Looked like a little bit of a broken play. I thought he wanted to hand it off, and then Beck just kind of tucked it and dove into the left side and was able to pick up 4 or 5 yards. It didn't look like he had much, but he managed to get 5 yards out of it.
Yeah, we'll give him 5, Pat. Ball just inside the Soo High 10-yard line. 2nd down and 5, 4:40 to play in this opening quarter. The Blue Devils did not give up a point last week during regulation to Petoskey. They're in danger of giving up some right here. Now 2 split out to the left for the Falcons, man in motion, 2nd down and 5. Back behind center for Ogemaw Heights. He'll pitch it. That goes to Walters. Now Walters finds some space, but it was closed up quickly, as looks like that was number 35, Riddick Lapine, one of the players in on the tackle for Soo High, bring up 3rd down and short.
And that's the one thing I noticed with Soo High this year defensively. You saw 4 or 5 guys swarming to that ball. They really do fill, and they fill quick when it looks like there's something there, but their linebackers are pretty quick. They move laterally extremely well, and Lapine came down that from his left side and was able to stop that to a limited gain. Again, a 3rd down situation for Ogemaw. We've had a hard time getting a stop here in this situation.
3rd down and 4, ball at the 8-yard line, 3:45 to play here in the opening quarter. No score here at Van Sitters Field. Now back behind center. Waiting, will hand it off. That's going to be a 1st down run. Looks like Tyler Walters got about 4, and that was enough. We'll see the spot, but it looks like 1st and goal, Pat. Maybe a little bit short.
Yeah, I think they're going to be about a half a yard short. But
no, they do give it to him. Or did they? I don't know. Now
they're going. Yeah. The line judge on this side was coming in holding the fist up like 4th down, but they gave him the spot. It's going to be a 1st and goal from inside the 5.
Yeah, ball just inside the 5-yard line, and these are one of the drives. If you're going to have an opening drive, Pat, if you're a visiting team, this is the kind you want. Just eat up some clock and get 1st downs. 1st down and goal, ball at the 4-yard line. The Falcons with the ball now. Run to the right side. It's going to get a couple yards close to the goal line, as that was number 7, Tyler Walters. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and very short 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and you're right about this drive. It's time-consuming, and that's a big thing for them. If you're going on the road, you can take the crowd out of it and the momentum out. If you can knock down a few 1st downs, and the big ones have been through the air on 3rd and long twice, they were able to pick it up.
So 2nd down and goal. Ball looks like at about the 1.5, 2-yard line. Falcons take their time. They're in no hurry-up offense with this team. They take all of that 40 seconds. So 2nd down. Went out to the left. I formation. Now man in motion to the far side. Back will keep it. Back is going to reach that ball over the goal line. Touchdown, Falcons.
Yeah, and That has been the big key, and that's what they talked about before in pregame, the ability to stop the quarterback on that little read option. That time, he got hit behind the line, but give that kid some credit. He, second effort, dove across the line, broke the plane, 6-0, and I don't know if they'll go for 2 or 1. It looks like they're keeping their quarterback out there, so I would have guessed they're a 2-point conversion team and not going to hit the extra point unless they bring the kid off the JV.
2:17 to play here in this first quarter. Ogemaw Heights strikes first. They're up by the score of 6-0. And they will go for 2, Pat, as you said. Now back behind center. He scored on a 2-yard run just a couple minutes ago. High formation. Now pass. Near side. Intercepted. And you can't bring that back anymore. There was a time I think you could with 2-point conversions, or am I mistaken on that?
I thought you could.
I don't know. I think they made a change a while back. Well, they couldn't there. And so Soo High's defense stops them there. 6-0 Ogemaw Heights. 2:17 to play here in this first quarter.
Is that in everything you can't get the 2? I thought in college and pro you could still take them back.
We're going to have to get our crack research staff to look that up at halftime. I'm not sure. It seems to me they changed that a couple years ago where you can no longer bring back a 2-point conversion. But we'll do some research. We'll go on Google and Wikipedia, whatever we got to do, Pat.
MHSAA.com.
That's right,
I'll
yes.
find something. Or I'll just walk down to the referee's room and ask them.
Paging Mark Ewell. So now Soo High looks to rebound here after a extended drive where the Falcons took about maybe 8 minutes to score that touchdown, and see if Soo High can rebound here. It's an offense that hasn't put up a lot of points, Pat, but they've made some big plays this season to get some wins.
Yes, and again, it might be one of those games where they're going to have to score a little bit. Now, granted, they fell down early to Sheboygan at the opening game, 16-0, and were able to come back. So 6-0 is not going to bother Soo High a lot, but I think their offense is going to have to put something together here. The last thing you want to do is take a 3-and-out and give this ball back to Ogemaw, who did a nice job of really taking the clock away and putting a time-consuming drive together.
So here we go. The Falcons kick off, a high kick up the middle. Caught by Robinson in his own 20-yard line. He's going to run it up the middle. Now try to go to the far side. Gets a few more yards. Get it up to about the 35-yard line for the Blue Devils as they have their second possession. They went 3-and-out on their last possession, and they're going to try to get some positive momentum here with 2:09 to play in the first quarter. 6-0 Falcons.
Yeah, and I would guess you're going to see a little bit of Pierce in this situation more. They went to Husky early to get a couple carries, but I would think they're going to try to get it back to Pierce a little bit and try to grind it out up the middle. That is where their strength is, running behind Eddington and Dotremont.
So here we go. First down and 10. Davey behind center. As you have Bennett Swanson. Split out to the right. Now Davey will hand it off. Little counter play and a decent gain there. That was Chris Pierce. And he'll get to about the 40-yard line, gain of 5, second down.
Yeah, it looks like they were calling for a fumble, but the referees quickly called to the ground. He was on the ground before he fumbled the football.
So second down and 5. Ball at the Blue Devil 40-yard line. Minute 50 left in this first quarter.
And that's critical for Soo High. They've got to get 4 or 5 yards on first down with their type of offense. They cannot put themselves in second and long. It makes it very difficult for them to pick up first downs.
So second down and 5. Now Swanson split out to the near side. 2 in the backfield for the Blue Devils. Davey behind center. Now man in motion. Davey takes the snap, hands it off to Pierce. He'll run to the near side. He's got some room. Chris Pierce across the 50. He'll be brought down out of bounds at the 45-yard line, and a flag, Pat. Looks like a late hit, so Soo High's moving the ball.
Yeah, that's going to be 15 extra yards, as he was a good 2 to 3 yards out of bounds before he was hit. And so that's a nice pickup, a big penalty against Ogemaw, and a nice 15-yard pickup for Soo High out of that. And it looks like they're going to the left side. Early on, they went to the right side. Now they're trying that left side, and they're having some success running there.
So ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line of the Falcons before the penalty, but move that 15, so I can't do that math, Pat. I think that goes to the 28, if I'm not mistaken. Did I get that right?
Well, I'll let you know when they put it down.
I think I did. Look at that.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good for a couple social studies guys here.
43 minus 15, 28.
I'm still
But I'm not a math minor.
No, you're not. Nor am I. Minute 15 to play in this first quarter. Soo High with the ball, trailing 6-0. Ball at the Ogemaw Heights 28-yard line. Now Pierce will run it and really not get much there. He's going to end up getting a yard as Jared Gettenser, the big tight end, in on the tackle for Ogemaw Heights.
Yeah, that time running towards the right side, they've had success going to the left. That right side's very difficult. Gettinzer is a good-sized kid and made a nice play from his defensive end position, stopping that to very short gain.
Halfway through the season, Pat, this field looks very good here at Van Sitters Field. Granted, we've had some rain, but no problems. It appears at least on the field.
No, it's in good shape. It looks nice. It's held together pretty well, and it's not been torn up, and we've had a lot of home games here.
35 seconds left here in the first quarter. Blue Devils with the ball, 2nd and 7. Now Davey behind center, yet to attempt a pass tonight. He'll hand it off to Pierce, and Pierce got tripped up right at the line. Looks like he ran into number 64, Marshall Donovan of the Falcons. That'll bring up 3rd down with 15 seconds left.
Yeah, Donovan came off that defensive tackle spot and was able to stop that, and he did get tripped up, and he had a little bit of room. If he could have broke that, again, I think they got to continue to try to work that left side. It's going to bring up 3rd down, but I think the left side is where they're going to be able to run the football.
Pat, that's the end of the first quarter. Our score, Ogemaw Heights 6, the Soo High Blue Devils nothing. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back with the second quarter. You are listening to Soo High Blue Devil football on 1230 WSOO. Back at the A.J. Van Sitters Field on this Saturday afternoon in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Scott Nason filling in for Dave Watson, joined by Pat Bennin. After one quarter, it is Ogemaw Heights 6, the Soo High Blue Devils nothing. Blue Devils will have 3rd and 7. Ball at the Falcons' 26-yard line to start the second quarter, Pat.
Yeah, again, I think ball control, they were able to run on the left side. I think this is a big 3rd down for them, but they are in 2-down situation to pick up this 1st down.
Now Davey under center, 3rd down. He'll pitch it to the near side. That's Husky. Husky finding some room. Husky is going to have the 1st down. He'll be brought down at the Ogemaw Heights 15-yard line. Nice gain for number 9, James Husky, the senior.
Yeah, he did an outstanding job of catching that right end, breaking around, and what it was all set up. And the big thing is I think Pierce's ability to run the football early in this drive. Ogemaw started keying on him. They faked it to him, and that allowed Husky to get to the corner and pick up a big 1st down. And Soo High starting to drive the football here a little bit.
Ball at the Falcons' 15-yard line. 11:49 to play in the second quarter. 6-0 Falcons. They're scoring a 2-yard touchdown run by their quarterback, senior Calvin Beck. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. Now Davey will hand it off to Pierce. Pierce will run up the middle. He'll get a good gain. He's still going. Pierce rumbling and stumbling down, and he's going to be a good about 7-yard gain on that one, Pat.
Yeah, and that's his strength. Yards after contact, they make the hit, but his legs keep moving, and you saw a great example of it right there. He took the initial contact about 2 yards into the play and was able to pick up 7. So nice job of keeping his legs going. You cannot tackle him high. You got to hit him low or he's not coming down. 2nd
down and 3, ball at the 7-yard line of the Falcons. Soo High looking to answer as Ogemaw Heights' first drive took about 8 minutes, and they scored the Soo High's 2nd drive here. 2nd down and 3. As LaPlante in the backfield for the Blue Devils along with Pierce. Now Pierce will get the carry. He'll run it up the gut and going to be close to the 1st down.
I believe he got it.
Yep, he got it. So 1st and goal, Soo High, ball inside the Falcons' 5-yard line.
And the ability of Pierce to run the football is just going to open up the playbook even more. Eventually, you'll see the same thing happen here. Either you'll see the fake to him and they'll give it to Husky, or you'll see this is where Davey a lot of times will fake it and then just rumble to the corner by himself on touch because he draws so much attention when he can run the football.
Good response for the Blue Devils off the Falcons' first score. Now 1st and goal, Soo High inside the 5-yard line. Pierce will get the ball. Pierce trying to get there, but a nice, ball loose. That ball, I think, came loose, Pat. I don't know if he was down. That looks like a fumble. I don't know.
It is.
It is. Big turnover for the Blue Devils. It looked like Pierce was going to be stopped. He was, but when he got hit there at the line, he fell back, and that ball came out. So turnovers, Pat, we've seen it hurt the Soo High Blue Devils before. It hurt them right there.
Yeah, and you hate to fault the kid for giving a little extra effort, and that's actually what he was trying to do there. But unfortunately, that time when he kept that extra effort, it allowed Ogemaw to knock it away. And so now we've seen 2 big things happen.
Yeah.
Turnover deep in when we're going in a score and a punt over the head. Special teams and turnovers. We talked about it in the pregame. Things Soo High cannot afford to do.
Well, the silver lining for the Blue Devils is Ogemaw Heights has 99 yards to go for a touchdown. They're at their own 1. Off the turnover, 1st and 10 Falcons. Now dropping back. Becky got hit, and that ball almost intercepted as number 85 Jacob Getzinger tried to make the one-handed catch. Good pressure on Beck, 2nd down.
Yeah, it looked like Hilgendorf coming from that right end again, jumping in there, and number 52 for the Sioux, Tesmer, also coming in and creating a lot of pressure on that quarterback. That was the other thing on their loss, the Marquette. They allowed their quarterback to have all day back there. And since that game against Petoskey and now early on here against Ogemaw, the quarterback has not had a lot of time to survey the field.
Interesting play call there at your own 1. You throw it on the first play. So here we go, 2nd down and 10. Ball at the Falcons' 1-yard line. Now Beck will hand that one off, and they'll get maybe a yard. Not much going there. That was Walters, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, and if you're Soo High, this is a critical play here. You got to pin deep. You're going to force them to punt on a deep out of their own end zone if you can get a stop here. Just don't do anything stupid here. Just keep everything in front of you, in front of the chains. My gut is I would, if I'm Ogemaw, I'm probably running the football again. I'm not, but they maybe try to throw it. I think they did on 1st down to see if they could catch the Sioux off guard. But you got to almost run the football and just try to give your punter a little bit of room.
Yeah, you need at least a couple yards here because if they don't get any yardage here, he's going to have all sorts of trouble. 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 1-yard line. Back under center for the Falcons. And they'll hand it off, and no, big tackle there. It looks like that was number 58 for the Blue Devils, Thalen Hoffman. Not much there for Walters, and so here we go, Pat. Nice defensive stand for the Blue Devils off that turnover.
Yeah, again, deep in. Good job. As you call it, Hoffman did a nice job, as did Swanson coming in there. But, yeah, this is a difficult situation. I'm guessing, the pros in college probably practice this a little bit. I don't know how often high school teams practice kicking out of their own end zone.
So number 5, John Robinson at the Falcons' 40-yard line, and not a whole lot of room to maneuver for Zach Spencer. Looks like going to take the kick for the Falcons. He's going to have to get that snap and kick it quickly. See if Soo High puts a lot of a punt rush here. So 4th and 10, ball at the Falcons' 1-yard line. Low snap and a short kick. That one's going to go in the air. Will take a good bounce for the Falcons. I think if you're Ogemaw Heights, Pat, that ball will drop dead at their own 42-yard line. You will take that one all day long.
Yeah, you'll take the 41-yard kick out of your end zone because they were in danger. And as you said, a low snap at that, and that's the danger of that. If you snap that a little bit hard and he steps out of the end line, it's a safety. So short field, I'm sure Ogemaw will take that, but now if you're Soo High, you have to take advantage of it. You drove it down to the 1-yard line, turned the football over. Your defense did what they were supposed to do. They came out and held them. Now your offense has to put some points on the board.
8:53 to play in the first quarter. 6-0 Ogemaw Heights. Soo High with the ball on the Falcons' 42-yard line. They drove it down to the 1-yard line, but a fumble cost them. They get it right back. Now Davey will hand it off and running to the far side, and that's going to be about a 1-yard gain for James Husky. Bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, they're trying Husky. I'm guessing this is the most I've seen Husky go outside a lot on offense. So Soo High must have saw something on film where they thought they could catch the corner against them. But I still think their bread and butter is going to be giving it to Pierce. Even though he fumbled, you got to trust him and let him keep moving it between the tackles, and that'll open up that outside game for the Sioux.
And, Pat, this is an offense, Soo High. They really need a touchdown. They haven't scored in regulation the last 2 games. You have to go back to the Alpena game in week 2. So Soo High really needs to get some positive feelings, some vibes on this offense right here, right now would be the best time for them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there.
2nd down and 9. Davey yet to attempt to pass. Now he'll drop back. He'll sling it to the near side. Complete along the near sideline. That's going to be a 1st down as that ball goes to Bennett Swanson. Nice gain. They'll spot that one at about the 22-yard line of the Falcons. 1st down.
Good job all the way around by Soo High. That was a one-man pattern. Swanson out there on his own made a nice little 10-yard outrun, and give Davey credit for putting the football there. But, hey, man, he had all day back there.
He did.
He had time to set his feet and throw that football, and he did a nice job of getting it there. But credit the offensive line as well.
Yeah, very good at stand there by the offensive line. 1st and 10 Blue Devils, 7:45 to play in the second quarter, 6-0 Falcons. Soo High with the ball. Now Davey under center, man in motion. Now Davey, hand it off to Pierce up the middle. Pierce with a nice gain. He'll get about 6. Number 44, Tristan Miller, in on the tackle for the Falcons. Bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, good job of Pierce there again. I think that's a good play for Soo High. Get positive yardage, but I like that idea of just going straight ahead. That will open everything else up for them. And as you can see, if play action pass can come into play, and Davey can throw the football when he has time. The big thing for him, he's not real tall. He's about 5'6", 5'7", so it's tough if that pocket's not very good for him to see down the field.
2nd down and 7 for the Blue Devils. Ball at the Falcons' 16-yard line. Now Davey under center. Number 32 there, Jack Swan in the backfield along with Pierce. Man in motion. They'll hand it off. Swan, and he's going to be tackled. Maybe a gain of a yard. Nice play by number 7, Tyler Walters. Nice open field tackle.
Yeah, and that's we called him on offense. Walters is a pretty good football player. He made a nice job coming from that end spot. I'd like to see Swan be a little bit more decisive with that. He got it and kind of stutter step for a second. If he just goes, he's got good speed. If he'll get the football and just put his head down and go, I think good things will happen for him.
6:30 to play in the second quarter. 3rd down and 3 for Soo High. Ball at the Falcons' 16-yard line. Davey under center, tight formation. One split out to the right. Now man in motion near side. Davey flips it to Husky. Husky finds some room. Husky now fumbles again, and that one's going to be recovered by Ogemaw Heights. The second Soo High turnover, and another tough one for Soo High as they were driving again, Pat.
Yeah, just ball security. That's 2 of them, as you said, and there you could almost see that coming. Husky was a little loose with the football, and Ogemaw came up and punched it from behind, and it took a good bounce for Ogemaw, bounced right into their defensive player. But now that's twice driving the football. You turn it over, and if you're Soo High, you just can't do that against good football teams. Eventually, they're going to take advantage of it, and it's going to hurt you.
And the silver lining, once again, Pat, they're on their own 1-yard line. So here we go again. We just saw this. Hopefully, Soo High has the same result. 1st and 10, Falcons at their own 1-yard line, and kind of a broken play there, Pat. I think the quarterback kept that one. He'll get a couple yards. That one, I don't think they drew that one up the way they wanted.
Yeah, I don't even know if the quarterback got a clean snap. It looked like he was bobbling the football a little bit. And he's lucky to get a yard or two, but it's going to bring up 2nd down, and they're able to get a yard or two out of it. But as you said, they got a chance again to pin them deep, but you just can't. You got to get it and then get that football back, but you can't turn it back over to them right now.
Beck goes to the sideline for the play. Unlike the last possession, they get a little bit of breathing room now as that ball spotted. It looks like about the 3-yard line of the Falcons. 2nd down and 8. Clock running. 5:30 to play in the second quarter. Now back under center for the Falcons. You have 2 split out to the right. Walters in the backfield. Now pass right up the middle, right in the hands again of Gettinger. That's a couple times that he's had a great pass, but he just can't hang on.
Yeah, and as you said, a big target. And he came right out of what I like to call a little tight end quickie. He's just coming right down, and it's a little 5-yard right out of the tight end spot. Linebackers came up. He's open. He threw it where he's supposed to. He dropped the football. So Soo High dodges the bullet. And again, now 3rd and long. You got a great situation here. If you can stop them, force them to punt the ball away, and you should get good field position again.
Yeah, for those that aren't here, remember Eric Ebron in his line stay? He did that about 500 times, I think, with passes that were passed to his hands.
And then
he does.
Now he goes to Indianapolis. He catches everything.
Yes, he does. 3rd down and 8 Falcons. 5:15 to play. Now, all sorts of movement on the Soo High defense. Now they get set. And Waters will run it up the middle. No, quarterback. No, actually, that's going to be a counter. And I think that's going to be a 1st down.
Very close.
Yeah,
it's going to depend on the spot.
Is going to get it just outside the 10-yard line. It's going to be close, Pat.
Very, very close.
To bring out the chain gang there.
No, they're marking it. I don't know. Oh, we got the. I think you almost have to measure it.
I think you have to at this point because they started at the 1, Pat, and they're just outside the 10. And
man,
they're going to go 4th down. So
yeah, okay. I thought they marked 1st down. I was going to be I can't believe Soo High's not calling for a measure.
They got the 1st on the chains there. They're going to have to change that to a 4 as the referee.
Yeah, he's about a half a yard short. So you did your job. You held him to 9 yards there, but now again you're going to.
Did they go for it here, Pat?
No, absolutely not. Not 6-0 on the road.
Yeah,
deep in your own territory.
I agree 100%.
Now I'm shocked they're not going to maybe try a little hard count and see if you could get Soo High to jump. But
as number 18, Zach Spencer, right at his own goal line. Soo High does not want to move. You want to stay stationary if you're the Blue Devils. Now a snap. Good one. Kick. Not a real long kick. That's going to bounce, and it looks like Soo High's going to get a little better bounce there as that one will come up at the 36-yard line. So, Pat, Soo High does their job again, but this offense, they got to hang on to the ball. They've lost it twice tonight.
Yeah, and they're just lucky that where they fumbled it has been deep in Ogemaw territory. They don't want to, but as you said, the defense has done their job since giving up that initial drive. They pinned them deep twice. On now, Soo High, you've moved the football. Now you got to hang on to the football.
Soo High trailing 6-0, 4:01 to play in the second quarter. They'll have 1st and 10, ball at the 36-yard line of the Falcons. This the Blue Devils' 4th possession. They fumbled it deep the last 2. Davey under center. He'll keep it, roll to the left, now throw it to the middle, and caught. Nice catch and first down, and the Blue Devils will keep going. That's to the 10, to the 5. No, just outside the 1. Number 20 there, Chase Hilgendorf with a big gain for the Blue Devils.
Give Davey some credit there. You know, he initially wanted to look to Pierce or Swanson. He looked both of them off and went to his secondary option, which was Hilgendorf coming from the right tight end all the way across the field. Good patience by him. Allowed everything to clear out, dumped it down, and then Hilgendorf with a nice run up, turning it upfield and breaking a tackle and just about getting in. Now, if you're Soo High, you have to put the points on the board here.
That ball's been at that 1-yard line a lot for the Falcons, Pat. This is the first time the Blue Devils have had it 1st and goal.
I got to figure it's going to be Pierce going up the middle here.
So Soo High, despite 2 turnovers and a bit of a sloppy first half, have a chance to tie it and possibly take the lead here. Clock running, 3:25 to play. 1st and goal on the 1. Davey under center. Pierce in the backfield. Now Davey's just going to keep that one. I don't know if he got that one, Pat.
Nope, he's going to be short. He did. Went straight ahead, but I don't think the surge was there. And, you know, Davey's not a tall quarterback, so it's pretty tough. He's got to make a lot of yardage off of that, so they got to get good surge. He's not just going to push his way forward.
2nd and goal at the 1. No gain on the play. 3 minutes to play in this second quarter. Coming up, we'll have our halftime show. We'll recap the scoring, try to find some other scores from across the area and around the country, and more. 2nd and goal. Pierce in the backfield. Now Davey will hand it to Pierce. Pierce fighting for that goal line. Did not get it again. Good stand by the Falcons. Bring up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, now I wouldn't be surprised here. This is the same situation they were in last week where you might see them fake this and allow Davey to do a little option out.
Yep.
Have one guy on the route, he could throw it or run it. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that right here. They get Davey out on the outside somewhere and let him make a decision.
3rd down and goal for the Blue Devils. 2:20 to play in this first quarter. Soo High trying to get on the board here on this Saturday afternoon. Davey under center, Pierce in the backfield. 3rd and goal at the 1. Davey set. Will hand it off to Pierce. I don't think he got it again, Pat. That defensive line just making a huge stand right now for the Falcons.
Wow, 4th down, and it's got to be about a half a yard or a yard. Now it's interesting. Now it's play call time. What do? Do you try it again going up the middle?
I think if you're Coach Menard, maybe you get a timeout here. Maybe you let that clock run. This is a big play in this game right now.
Yeah, it's a critical play right now, and I think the way they're talking, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take a timeout. He's got 2 to burn, but they're running him back out there, so maybe not. Wouldn't be surprised if you see this. I've been saying it a couple times, but if it's me, I think I put the ball in my quarterback's hands, let him get outside and make something happen. I don't know if you're going to be able to get it up the middle. 4th
and goal, ball inside the 1-yard line. Davey under center, going to hand it off to Pierce. I think he got it. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
There they put his shoulder down, I guess. Perseverance pays off 4 times up there.
Yeah.
They finally got through and found a little hole. That time they ran behind big number 75, Matt Eddington, and they were able to push it through. Picks up that touchdown. So good response. As we said, Soo High not been perfect, but now have a chance to take the lead in a game. They fumbled the ball twice and had a snap go over the head of the punter. So opportunities here for Soo High to take the lead going in at half with 1:15 to go.
Yeah, good run by Pierce, but you mentioned it, Pat. Nice push by Eddington on that line. So here we go, 2-point conversion. We're tied at 6. Pierce in the backfield. Davey under center. Now Davey's going to roll to the left. He's got a player wide open. 2-point conversion, good. That's Swanson in the end zone. So the Blue Devils, despite 2 turnovers and maybe not the cleanest first half right now, lead 8-6, Pat, 1:15 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice job there again. Good play action pass. And the other thing we don't talk a lot about, Davey's left-handed, so that roll to his left is really, really natural to him. And a lot of teams aren't used to that. You see a lot of right-handed quarterbacks. You don't see a ton of left-handed quarterbacks. He was able to roll to his left and just find Swanson wide open. So good response that time by the Sioux. put themselves up 8-6. And as I said, they were in a little bit of trouble early on here, but able to take the lead. And with 1:15 now, I mean, Ogemaw still has 3 timeouts left, so it's far from over this first half. But right now, if you're Soo High, if you can go in the locker room up 8-6 after fumbling twice and snapping it over the punter's head, you'll be pretty happy.
Those are the first points in regulation for the Blue Devils since September 6th in Alpena for that 20-14 victory. So that was just what the doctor ordered for Soo High. Now a kick by the Blue Devils. That one's fielded by the Falcons at their own 20-yard line, running along the far sideline and be brought out of bounds. Just short of the 40-yard line, that was number 10, Zia Karts. And so the Falcons will have it with 3 timeouts, 1:07 left in this second quarter, trailing by 2.
And they have some big targets to throw to. They're 2 wide receivers. I don't know if 84 or is it Ryan? I don't know if he's been back in the game since early on, 84. But 85, Getzenser is a pretty good target out there. I have not seen 84 back in since he went down on that shoulder.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. We don't see him on the field trying to look over on that sideline if he's sitting down. That's one of their big weapons for the Falcons. So they're without one of their key tight ends. They got a big one at number 85, Getzenser. And this is a team that can throw downfield, so this half not over yet. Blue Devils need another defensive stand. 1st and 10 Falcons, ball at their own 37-yard line.
That's an interesting formation.
It is. I don't even know what to call it. Now here's dropping back is Beck. He's going to heave it upfield. Almost caught there by number 10, Zia Cards. It was a tough catch to handle, and he almost put in a Sports Center-like play.
Yeah, that was a well-thrown football, and very interesting. They had 3 guys lined up, I guess, as eligible blockers.
Yeah,
I don't know if way out here to the left. The guy behind him, Getzenser, behind him, but they went to number 10, Zia Karts, and ball was well thrown. He laid out for it, just dropped it. So Soo High will dodge a little bit of a bullet there. Still a minute to go in the game, or a minute to go in the half, I should say.
Blue Devils could get this ball back with some time as well. So the Soo High's got to maybe think about using their timeouts. And now Ogemaw Heights will use one with 1:01 left in this second quarter. 2nd down and 10. Ogemaw Heights with the ball on their own 37-yard line, trailing 8-6.
And that was a good timeout, as there was a lot of confusion there. I think they had 12 guys out on the field, and smart timeout and not take a penalty there with a minute to go. So Soo High, again, I think you got to be smart defensively. Don't make anything big mistakes. Don't let anybody behind you. That's the number one thing in this situation. But as you said, with 2 timeouts to go, and if they continue to air the ball out, throwing completions, you got an opportunity to get the football back with a little bit of time.
Looking at the Soo High Blue Devils' remaining schedule, Dave Watson will be back next week. The game in Gladstone, Friday night. 6:45 pregame show, 7 o'clock kickoff here on 1230 WSOO. And then the home finale against 0-5 Rogers City will be on Friday, October 11th, 7 o'clock. Pregame show 6:45. And then a Saturday afternoon game in Ludington. Very good Ludington squad, 4-1 on the season. That'll be 4:15 on the 19th, and then at Gaylord on October 25th. So 2nd down off the timeout for the Falcons, 1:01 left. 3 in the backfield for Ogemaw Heights. 1 split out to the left. Back behind center. 2nd down. And that'll be a handoff. No quarterback keeper. And nice open field tackle. No, he keeps going. Oh, a couple missed tackles. And Beck's going to bring that one to the house. Oh, my goodness sakes. That's going to be a 61-yard touchdown run. It looked like he was tackled once, twice, 3 times. Big touchdown for the Falcons. Tough one for Soo High, Pat.
And that's exactly what we talked about early on. Tackle a quarterback. That's their big weapon, and you see why right there. It looked like he was going to have the opportunity to be stopped, but he broke 2 or 3 tackles, and we were talking about getting the football back with the chance to expand our lead. And
we
just
get it
like
back,
that,
all right.
He puts it in the end zone, and it's 12-8. And give that kid credit. He broke about 2 tackles, and once he was there, he was gone. Nobody was going to catch him, but again, not what we would call a real picturesque half of football by Soo High.
No.
Turnovers and a little bit of poor tackling have hurt us here.
Yeah, credit Beck. He kept those legs moving, and it paid off with a 61-yard touchdown run. Now the Falcons go for 2. No good there. They run it up the middle, and that was a nice tackle there by, not quite sure who got that one. Looks like maybe Lapine with the tackle. So Soo High will get the ball back. Pat, 46 seconds left, trailing 12-8.
And the critical thing here is, though, what I don't like about this is you were 8-6. Yes, Ogemaw was going to come out with the ball to start the second half, but you would have had to lead. Now they're going to come up with the 12-8. Now, not saying Soo High can't score in 46 seconds, as we saw Ogemaw score here in about 25 seconds, but the problem here is Ogemaw, if they get the stop, is going to have the football to start the second half, and they're just coming off a pretty good touchdown drive. So, again, Soo High called upon here to make something happen. And as I said, I don't know if it's been picturesque. Could be a lot worse. You could be in a lot worse shape, only down 12-8 with the situations you've put yourself in. But if you're Soo High, you got to be a little bit disappointed in how you've handled the football and a little bit of your tackling.
That Beck's second touchdown run in this first half. He had a 2-point touchdown run in the first quarter, and then went a 61-yard scamper. Almost thought he was going to be tackled for a loss, but he kept going forward, and he's rewarded with the touchdown. Now the Falcons to kick off, as that's number 18, Spencer, with the kick. That one's going to bounce at the 15-yard line, taken by Bird. And that one's going to continue to go to about the 35-yard line. Ooh, late hit there, but no call. And so Soo High now, Pat, 37 seconds left, ball at their own 35-yard line, 2 timeouts. What's Coach Menard's thinking right now?
Well, I probably would maybe take one shot, see if I can get something going here. You don't want to make a huge mistake here and obviously turn the ball over and get a pick six or something, but I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe play actions, rolls Davey out, see if he can make something happen. Swanson's been open a lot early on, and they're coming out with a double wide to the right, and then a shotgun, so they're not going to take a knee.
Davey yet to throw an incompletion, I believe, so far here, Pat. Now shotgun formation. Davey rolls to the near side, looking. He'll launch it and complete. They're going to stay in bounds. Oh, nice open field tackle by Gleason on the pass to Husky. Gain of about 5. They'll bring up second down. Clock still running. Now they're going to call a timeout here, Pat.
No, they just... Did they? Okay, I was wondering if they would. I thought maybe they were just going to take a stoppage here as the linesman threw it completely over the guy's head. I was going to say one of Dave's golf shots, but if you want to go throws, go ahead.
Does he throw it? Does he hit it that far? I've never seen him golf, actually.
Well, I don't know if he'd call it golf, but no, I won't be mean. I kid because I care, as Dave would say.
And there is a podcast available, Pat, so the archives will live. Just to give you a heads up.
It's like anything you put on the internet. You can delete it, but it's still there.
Well, I could do some heavy editing before we post it, too.
You might want to.
Exactly. Second down and 5. 24 seconds left in this second quarter. Soo High has the ball. Second down. 5. Ball on their own 42-yard line. So I led 8-6. Looked like they might go into the halftime with that lead, but a big touchdown run by the quarterback, Calvin Beck, has given the Falcons the lead. Now a pass to the far side complete. You want to get out of bounds if you can, and the Blue Devils do as that pass completed to James Husky. Davey yet to throw an incompletion. 16 seconds left, Pat, and the clock will stop.
Yeah, now you're down inside that 45-yard line. So, with 16 seconds, and as you said, one timeout left, a lot of time to go here. The middle of the field's still open for you. And don't forget, in high school football and like pro football, pick up the first down, the clock stops until the chains are set. And if you're a good chain gang at home, you're a little slower getting
Yes,
there.
you are, exactly. Yeah, you stumble over the divots on the sideline. You maybe check your shoelace.
Yes.
We haven't had any of that this year, I hear.
No, I'm not.
Maybe
I used to be on that side. I used to be on that side.
It's a lot of pressure over there for those guys.
It really is.
All right, so here we go. First down and 10. Blue Devils ball at the Falcons' 45-yard line. Davey, shotgun formation. Soo High does have a timeout. Now he'll drop back. Pressure. Now Davey gets out of pressure, and he's going to heave that one downfield, and that's going to be intercepted there. Oh, they're a big hit after that. That's intercepted by number 3,
There's
Beck.
a penalty. That's coming back.
Yep, and Beck's going to bring it outside the 30-yard line. The clock will expire. We'll get the call on the penalty. Look like that's going to go against Ogemaw Heights, Pat, but I think it was after the interception, so that should end the half.
It should. There's about 2, I think, illegal block in the back happen there, but I would think that's going to end it. As this one was definitely a legal block in the back. There was at least 2 more. So, but I think that'll end it, and we'll go to halftime here, I would guess, but we'll wait and see what the calls are.
I mean, it'll go into the books as an interception, Pat, but, Davey really had no options. The clock was running out, and you almost have to just heave that up, don't you?
You do. I just wish he could have planted his feet a little bit, because the kid actually, it looked like Swanson had beat him deep, and that's but that's a tough throw. Again, rolling to his right for a left-handed quarterback to stop and try to throw it there, but he didn't get it all, and it will be the end as it's a couple of offensive, or I guess it turns to an offensive penalty on an interception.
That'll bring us to halftime. Our score, Ogemaw Heights 12, the Soo High Blue Devils 8. We're going to take a break. We come back, we'll recap the scoring, talk about this one, and look ahead to the second half. You are listening to Soo High Blue Devil football on 1230 WSOO. Scott Nason back at A.J. Van Sitter's Field on this Saturday afternoon. Beautiful Saturday in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. We are at halftime of our football game between the Soo High Blue Devils and Ogemaw Heights Falcons. And it's the Falcons with a 12-8 lead here at half as the senior pom-poms and Soo High Blue Devil football players are being announced this senior night/afternoon at Soo High. Blue Devils were hoping to have another home game against Ludington. It was scheduled here in about 3 weeks, but we're seeing this a lot across the state of Michigan, a shortage of officials. And there's a shortage of officials here in the area for football and really every sport. And the Michigan High School Athletic Association, they're making a big push towards getting more officials. And so if you're interested in doing so, it's not that hard. Even I officiate baseball and softball in the area. So if I can do it, you can do it. Go to mhsaa.com. There you can find all about signing up. It's not the easiest gig. You're getting a lot of raspberries, if you will, from many people. But you know what? It's worth it. It's fun to be a part of the action. Hey, you can even make a few bucks as well. Recapping the scoring in that first half, the Ogemaw Heights Falcons got on the board first with 2:17 left in the first quarter. Calvin Beck, a 2-yard touchdown run, 2-point conversion, no good. And it was 6-0 Falcons after one. The Blue Devils would drive it twice deep into Falcons territory, and both times they would fumble as Pierce, along with Husky, both fumbled inside the 5-yard line. But Soo High would stop both those possessions and would get the ball, and they would get a 1-yard touchdown run by Chris Pierce with 1:15 left in the second quarter and a 2-point conversion as Jacob Davey would throw a completed pass to Bennett Swanson. And the Blue Devils with $1:15 left in the second quarter led by the score of 8-6. And it looked like Soo High was going to possibly take the ball and take the lead into half, but a 61-yard touchdown run by Calvin Beck. He broke several tackles and would score with 46 seconds left in the second quarter. 2-point conversion, no good. Soo High would get the ball, but not able to score. And so at half, the Blue Devils have some work to do. Not the cleanest half they'll ever play. Couple fumbles. They did have a bad snap on a punt, but all things considered, they're only down 4 and well in this ball game. Recapping some of the scores from last night around the area in high school football. Just one game involving local teams today, as Engadine is in action, a team that's 3-1 in 8-player football. They're in action this afternoon. No score reported in that game. I believe they're at Stevenson. Other games last night in EUP high school football, St. Ignace, they drop a 16-0 decision at Harbor Springs. The Saints now have been shut out in their last two games. They dropped to 2-3. They're going to host East Jordan on Friday. In a game you heard on our sister station, Oldies 93 with Matt Pocket, the EUP game of the week. Brimley Bays 4-0 entering that game against Cedarville, and it was all Trojans last night as they hand the Bays their first loss of the season. Cedarville beats Brimley by the score of 48-6. Brimley now falls to 4-1 on the season. They'll be at Engadine on Friday, where the Pickford Panthers will host Cedarville. The Trojans 3-2 on the season. You can hear that game on our sister station, Oldies 93 with Matt Pocket. Speaking of those Pickford Panthers, they thumped the Brimley Bays Friday night at the Purple Palace by the score of 48-0. Stephen Lamoth, 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground. Jimmy Story, 2 touchdown passes for the Pickford Panthers, who improve to 4-1 on the season, while the Bulldogs, they fall to 2-3. Pickford will be at home, as I mentioned, to Cedarville, while Rudyard will play host to Superior Central. Newberry now 3-2 on the season. They've lost a couple games in a row as they dropped a big 58-24 decision to Rapid River at home. And the Newberry Indians will be at home Saturday, taking on North Dickinson. You can hear that game with Casey Cook, my man, on WNBY in the Newberry area. And one other game in high school football over in Sioux, Ontario, Cora over St. Mary's by the score of 37-8. If you want to hear more about the world of local sports along with regional sports and national sports, I invite you to tune in to our sports show, The Game, which can be heard on our sister station, ESPN 1400, Monday nights from 6 to 8 o'clock. Myself, along with Dave McKeag in Sioux, Ontario, Butch Davis from the Metro Detroit area, and EJ Russell. We talk about it all on The Game, and you can hear podcasts of that show on the website, thegamesportshow.com, along with this broadcast with myself and Pat Bennin, who will rejoin us coming up. Looking ahead to our week of sports here on Sovereign Communications, we'll have the Hockey North show on ESPN 1400 on Tuesday night with Randy Russin at 5, and our first Laker hockey show with Bill Crawford, Tuesday night at 6 with head coach Damon Witten, as the Lakers will open up hockey play next weekend at home against Merrimack University. Tonight, we'll have Sioux Greyhounds hockey on Rock 101 with Jerry Liscombe Jr. As the Hounds 3-0 on the season, they will take on Saginaw. Down in Saginaw, Jerry will have the call around 6:40 with the pregame show. And then tomorrow, the undefeated Detroit Lions, first place in the North Division. They will take on Kansas City. We'll have the pregame show 11 o'clock on our sister station, Oldies 93, with the play-by-play Dan Miller and company at 1. As the Lions in that very tough NFC North Division, we saw the Packers lose on Thursday. Some questionable play calling as far as I'm concerned in that one. But hey, worked out for the Lions. College football today, the Michigan Wolverines have already won as they defeat Rutgers by the score of 52-0. And Michigan State tied at 7 with Indiana, that one with about a minute left in the first quarter. We're going to take our final break on our halftime show. We come back, Pat Bennin will rejoin me. We'll have the second half of action here at A.J. Van Sitter's Field. In our score at halftime, Ogemaw Heights 12, the Soo High Blue Devils 8. Scott Nason, Pat Bennin back at A.J. Van Sitter's Field here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Our broadcast engineer this afternoon, Emily Pentecost, as we are just about ready to start the second half of play as the Soo High Blue Devils, Pat, trail the Ogemaw Heights Falcons by the score of 12-8. But like I said at halftime, Pat, it wasn't the prettiest half, and it could be a lot worse for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, and I think Soo High, I thought they were going to get out with an 8-6 lead. They gave up a big play to end the half to allow Ogemaw to go up 12-8. But it wasn't pretty. They didn't tackle extremely well, not as good as I've seen them, and turnovers hurt them. But I think right now, second half adjustments have been made. This opening drive will be interesting. I think Soo High's got to figure out a way to contain Ogamaw's offense, stop the quarterback, and see if they can get a stop and get the football back, because they showed the ability to move the football. They turned it over a couple times is what hurt them.
Yeah, Falcons will get the ball to start the second half. Recapping the scoring, Calvin Beck, a 2-yard touchdown run for the Falcons. 2-point conversion, no good in the first quarter, 6-0 in favor of the Falcons. Chris Pierce, a 1-yard touchdown run for the Blue Devils. 2-point conversion, good. David Swanson, it was 8-6, and then a 61-yard touchdown run, Calvin Beck. That the go-ahead touchdown at this point, and Soo High will have the ball kicking off, going left to right, as seen on your radio dial, as number 33, Vinny Feebles, will kick off for Soo High. So here we go, second half about to start, almost an onside kick, if you will, a squib kick, and that one's going to be recovered by Zach Spencer and give the Falcons good field position to start the second half, Pat.
Yeah, I don't know if they meant to do that or not. It was a little bit of a miss kick, and going to give Ogemaw great field position here to start the second half. And if you're Soo High's defense, I think the big thing here is, again, you got to be careful with Beck. He looks like he's going to hand the ball off, and at the last second he pulls it out, kind of a little read option look, and they've got to stop that, contain him, and also, they were able to move the football through the air on a couple critical third downs on their first score. At 85 there, Gettinser got open quite a bit, so Soo High's got to make some adjustments.
First and 10 Falcons, ball at their own 43-yard line, back under center. Now he'll hand it off, running on the near side. That's Walters, and not much doing there. A bevy of Blue Devils in on the play. including number 9, James Husky.
And 59,
Yep.
Lujan, again, I believe, came from the linebacker spot. But Husky and Lujan have been very solid. And number 70 also made a nice play there. Nick Chico coming from the defensive line position, really doing a nice job. And Walter carried the ball quite a bit. He didn't really do a whole lot offensively, but he seems to be the guy they go to the most. Again, the big thing is they'll fake it to him, and that's when Beck breaks free usually, is that he draws the people to him, and then he pulls it out at the last second.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Falcons, leading 12-8. 10:45 left here in this third quarter. Both teams 3-1 on the season. Now a hand up the middle, and a couple of yards on the gain. Again, Lujan in on the tackle for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Lujan, and it looked like 71 there, Eddington again for Soo High coming in and making a big, or Dotremont, 71's Dotremont. Lujan did a nice job from his linebacker. Dotremont came and cleaned it up, and going to bring up 3rd and long, and we saw Soo High get the Ogemaw a couple times in this situation, and both times they were able to complete a pass to pick up the 1st down. So let's see if the adjustments are made in the secondary here in the second half.
3rd down and 8 for Ogemaw Heights. Ball just short of their 45-yard line. 10 minutes left in this third quarter. Falcons with the 4-point lead.
And if you're defensively, you got to watch for 85 coming out of that tight end spot.
Now back, movement there, and I think that's going to go against the Blue Devils, Pat. Nice call there by Beck.
Yeah, a little hard county.
Yep.
They haven't done it yet, and that time they were able to draw them off. And it's going to make it 5 yards closer. It's not going to be a 1st down, but it's going to make it a little bit more manageable and give Ogemaw a few more options to either run or pass here.
Yeah, that'll bring it right at midfield. Ball at the 50-yard line. 3rd down and a short 4. Clock running, 9:50 to play in the third quarter. High formation. One split out to the right. That's Gleason. Now back under center. Back with the snap. He'll hand it off. No, pitch. Nice one there. But a nice tackle there. A player lost the footing as that looks like number 5, John Robinson, and that's going to be a couple-yard loss on that one, Pat.
Yeah, good job of containment there as they ran a little bit of an option look where they faked the handoff up the middle, and then the quarterback kept it, pitched it out the last minute. Robinson and Husky both came up, made a great play. Nice job of containment. Brings up a 4th down, and you got to figure they're going to punt the football away and try to pin them deep. But it is at that part of the field where you got to be careful and not be too looking for the punt. They could fake it here.
Zach Spencer will take the punt for the Falcons. He had a nice 41-yard punt out of the end zone, the back of the end zone in the first half. Now snap, a little low. Spencer with the kick. Decent one. That's going to go right to the Blue Devil player. That's Robinson. Now Robinson will reverse course, run to the near side, but he's going to have a whole bunch of players he got to get around. He does to the 30, and nice tackle there. A big one at about the 32-yard line. That was number 18, Zach Spencer, that laid the lick on Robinson.
But a nice job of Robinson making something out of nothing there, and I think we're going to have the kid that made the hit, I think maybe took the brunt of that.
And sometimes that happens, Pat. Sometimes the guy giving the hit gets it worse than the guy that receives it.
Yeah, and I don't think this is anything serious. I think he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
As you can see him talking to the trainer down there right now.
Yeah, Manny McLeod out there right away talking to, and I think indeed, Pat, you're right. He just got the wind knocked out of him, and so Spencer, good news there, going to walk off the field on his own accord. Good news for the Blue Devils. They make another stop. They'll have 1st and 10. 8:40 to play in the third quarter. Ball at the 33-yard line of the Blue Devils, trailing by 4.
Yeah, and a pretty good field position, all things considered, because Ogemaw was punting from the 50-yard line, and they get it all the way past the 30. They got pretty good field position, Soo High does right now.
So here we go. Blue Devils with the ball, looking to retake the lead. They led 8-6 late second quarter, but then that 61-yard touchdown run by Calvin Beck. That's the difference right now. Davey under center. Pierce in the backfield. Now man in motion, near side. They'll hand it off to Pierce, and he'll get maybe a yard. All sorts of players in on the tackle for the Falcons, including number 7, Tyler Walters.
Yeah, it went straight ahead and not a lot doing there. But again, I think that's where Soo High's had a lot of successes off the tackles, going basically to the right side. Not as much to the left. They've been running behind the right side of the line better than they've run behind the left side of the line. But they got to keep working in there, try to wear things down, and eventually that running game will pop a little bit and allow things to open up for the playbook.
2nd down and 9, Soo High, ball at their own 34-yard line. 8 minutes to play in this third quarter. Now you have Swanson on the far side. Pierce, Husky in the backfield. They're going to fake it to Husky now looking downfield. Davey, he launched it wide open, complete to Janetta, and Janetta's going to give the Blue Devils a first down and 10, ball inside the Falcons' 35-yard line.
And we talked about the play-action pass, and again, it's not the wide receivers out to the left that are where Davey's rolling out. It's the kid coming behind, and Janetta coming from the right side of the field that time. Wide open, and that's the same play they ran earlier when they found Hilgendorf for a big play. So, again, Soo High's picked something up with that backside defense secondary kind of falling asleep for Ogemaw, and they're kind of finding openings there. Don't be surprised if they continue throughout this half to go back to that.
Yeah, and outside that first drive for the Blue Devils, they've really been able to move the ball. They just haven't been able to hang on to it. First and 10, Soo High, ball inside the 35-yard line now. Near side counter, that's going to be a gain there, and a long one. Oh, fumble again! And the ball goes out of bounds as that was Husky with the carry. Pat, it fooled everybody. He ran to the near sideline and just dropped the ball, but lucky for Soo High, it went out of bounds. First down, Blue Devils.
Yeah, and in that situation, what you saw happen there is Husky had the ball in his left hand, and he was trying to, the tackle was coming, so he's trying to switch it over to his right and maybe get a little stiff arm, but when he did it, he bobbled the football, and probably in there you would just tell him, put both hands on the ball, take the contact,
exactly,
go down.
They'll spot the ball at the Falcons 18-yard line. This is the fourth trip inside the red zone for Soo High. They just have 8 points. Big chance here for the Blue Devils. 7:10 to play in the third quarter. First down and 10. Davey under center. Now, handoff. Pierce, good gain. He'll get about 4 or 5, bring up second down.
Yeah, and that's their bread and butter play, just right off tackle. They do a nice job of getting 4 or 5 yards, and the more they do that, and you're starting to see it, you're starting to see the defensive line, because Ogemaw has a lot of kids going both ways, and I'm watching the defensive linemen a little bit. They're standing up a little bit more right now. When defensive linemen start standing up, they're tired, and that's what's happening a little bit right now, and Soo High's getting a pretty good push.
Second down and 6, Blue Devils, ball inside the 15-yard line. We'll call it the 14 of the Falcons. Davey under center. Now Davey takes the snap, hand it off, near side, good gainer, could be a touch, and touchdown saving tackle there by number 10, Zia Karts, but a nice gain and a first down for the Blue Devils.
And that was Jack Swan, and that's the one thing he does bring to this football team is speed, and you saw it right there. The first time he got the football, he was a little bit indecisive in where he go. That time he got it, put his shoulder down and ran hard. And he's got the ability to make a big play because he's got good speed for the Sioux.
Ball just outside the Falcons' 5-yard line. First down and goal. Good drive for the Blue Devils halfway through this third quarter. They trail 12-6. Now Davey under center. You have Pierce, Husky in the backfield. They're going to give it to Husky. Oh, boy, he got a lick there. As that was, it looks like number 10 in on the tackle, Zia Karts. He laid a lick to Husky. Husky hung on to the ball. That was good just in itself.
Yeah, and there's where you see Husky's not accustomed to really running a lot of between the tackles. You don't want to run straight up there. You're going to get hit hard. But, a good thing by him to hold on to that football, test in the middle of the line. But that's one of those things you got to get used to. You see Pierce, he's a little bit lower down, and he's got the shoulder pads lowered. If you run straight up, you're going to take a pretty good lick in there.
Gain of 2, second and goal, ball at the Falcons' 4-yard line. Davey under center. Now he'll roll to the left. He's got room. He's going to keep it. Jacob Davey with a 4-yard touchdown run for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, and that's been a very successful play for Soo High. Anytime they roll to the left, good things have happened when they've had Davey go that time. That time they scored a touchdown or a 2-point conversion to Swanson. This time Ogemaw was caught trying to cover him. Davey made the smart decision, tucked the football, and scored. And anytime they get him rolling to the left, good things have happened right now for Soo High offensively.
So Soo High will retake the lead 14-12, going for 2 again. They were successful on their last 2-point attempt, a pass from Davey to Swanson. Swanson split out to the left again for the Blue Devils. 2-point lead for Soo High, trying to make it 4. Now Davey is going to roll to the left, looking, Swanson, 2-point conversion, good. Boy, that one's worked tonight, Pat, as the Blue Devils now lead by the score of 16-12.
Yeah, Ogemaw doesn't have a whole lot of answers for that play, and Swanson's got a little bit of size and a well-thrown football, and that's the second time it's been completed. That time they're worried about that the tight end on the right side sneaking behind him, so they're covering it, but they forget to cover the left end. That has been a very effective play for Soo High. Anytime Davies rolled to his left, looking to run or pass, they've had a lot of success. So I would expect Soo High offensively to continue to do more and more of that as it goes along.
16-12, the Blue Devils, 5:13 to play in this third quarter. The Falcons will get the ball. A back-and-forth affair. Ogemaw Heights has led twice, and now the Blue Devils have led twice. And, well, they have the lead right now. Out-of-town scoreboard, college football. Michigan State up on Indiana, 14-7. That one early second quarter. Notre Dame, our good friend Dave Watson, why I'm here, he's down in South Bend, leads Virginia 14-10. How about this one, Pat? And we have a kickoff that's going to roll out of bounds. And the Blue Devils will either have to re-kick. Number 1, Clemson down at North Carolina, 14-7.
Oh, you Alabama fans.
Yes,
all
indeed.
Fired up
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
All you want to be is ranked number 1. But, I mean, I just think let's let them play their 11, 12 games, put them in the championship game, let them battle it out. Everybody else go to a bowl game. We'll call it good.
I think you're right, Pat. I would definitely agree with that one, as that kickoff goes out of bounds. And so I believe the Blue Devils, Pat, will kick it again. You have the option if you're the team that.
I think they'll back them up 5 yards here. As they haven't shown the ability to really boot it very far, and it is into the wind here. So
yeah. So now the Blue Devils will kick it off at their own 35-yard line. Vinny Feebles will take the kick for Soo High. 5:12 to play in this third quarter.
See what they try to do here. You know, on that one, they kind of squibbed it a little bit, but Ogemaw did not cover it real well. If it doesn't go out of bounds, Soo High had a chance to get it.
Now, nice kick by Feebles. That one's going to go all the way back to the 15-yard line, taken by Walters. Now Walters going to run it up the gut, and nice tackle there. Looks like number 35, Riddick Lapine, one of the players in on the tackle, and so the Falcons will have the ball. Looks like at their own 30-yard line, trailing 16-12.
Yeah, and again, nice response by Soo High offensively, rolling out to the left. Now, again, the defense has to step up here. They did a nice job on the first drive, holding Ogemaw to very little. But the big thing here is that quarterback option, that read option. That's what they got to continue to stop.
So ball will be set at the Falcons' 30-yard line. 5:07 to play in the third quarter. Falcons with the ball trailing by 4. Beck, who has both touchdowns for Ogemaw Heights, under center. And he's going to roll, look to the near side, throw in, complete. Going to be a short gain there to the tight end. Jer Getzinger going to bring up second down.
Yep, nice job. Again, the same route they ran earlier. They just kind of bring them out. Oh, there is a flag. What do we got here?
I didn't see there. We're going to.
It could be. I didn't see if the quarterback got hit late.
Yeah, it definitely was away from the play, and I think you're right, Pat. That's.
Yep. Oh, no.
Yep, wrong way. There you go. Yeah, so that's going to be a late hit on the quarterback. I didn't see it up here, Pat.
No, I was looking at the tight end. I didn't really look to see what the hit is, but usually where that flag is, that's what it's going to be, as a roughing the passer call.
And that's going to bring it, looks like, right to midfield. It'll definitely give the Falcons a first down. And that catch there, Gettinger, you mentioned earlier, the other wide receiver / tight end, number 84, Jacob Ryan, he got hurt early. We haven't seen him the rest of the game, and I doubt we'll see him now.
Right. Now that's a 15-yard penalty. It is from the initial line of scrimmage. They don't give the 5 yards and then tack on the 15. It's the 15 right from the original line of scrimmage.
So now Ogemaw Heights going a little hurry up here. They take their time, but they're right to the line on this one. 1st and 10 Falcons. Ball at their own 46-yard line. I formation. Now a handoff. Waters. He'll get a decent gain there, right up to midfield. Gain of 4, bring up second down.
Yeah, and it's strictly right now, Soo High, I think, is allowing Walters to get the football. They're so consumed about what Beck's going to do that they're going to give up the little 4 or 5 yard carry to him and not allow Beck to get to the outside.
4:35 to play in this third quarter. Ball at midfield for the Ogemaw Heights Falcons. 3-1 on the season. Soo High Blue Devils also 3-1, leading 16-12. The winner of this game will take a big step forward towards their potential playoff boundness. That was terrible English, but I lost it. I lost it midway through. You just had to just keep going. 2nd down and 6, Waters with the carry. A short gain of about 1.
Boundness.
I like that. Yeah, number 30, Bennett Swanson. Yeah, hey, they say in radio, just keep going. There's no rewinds.
That's why I tell everybody about the play.
Although
it sounds like you know what you're doing. Well, they're not going to know any different.
Note to self: a minute 56 into the podcast, make sure I do some heavy editing.
Oh,
not like never mind. Not going to go politics here as much as I would love to. Third down.
No. We're going to stay away from
third down and 5. For the Cardinals. 3:40 to play in this third quarter. Soo High's defense has made some big stops when they've had to, and they're looking to make another one here. Now Beck. Calvin Beck, number 4, the senior quarterback for the Falcons, under center. And we're going to have a whistle, delay a game.
Yeah.
And MHSAA, new rule this year, 40 seconds. You got to be a little quicker maybe than you have been in the past, since that's a big 5 yards there, Pat. Now it's going to make it 3rd and long.
Yeah, that really puts him in a difficult situation. And, you know, the guy, the back judge is the one that's making the call. His hand's up, and I'm surprised they didn't see it take a timeout.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was signaled a little bit late, but I was watching it. It was very close, and they didn't get it off, so it's going to bring up 3rd and, as you said, 10 instead of 5 now.
3rd down and 10 for the Falcons, rather. Now Beck will sling it downfield, and that's going to be way out of the reach of his intended receiver, number 3, Caleb Gleason. Good coverage by John Robinson. Going to bring up 4th down, probably see another punt.
I would think you're going to see a punt here. And another nice job by Soo High after that initial penalty to give up the 1st down on roughing the passer. They've done a nice job of shutting it down, forced, and that helped out by that delay of game that put it 3rd and long. Now, and so it's going to be a punting situation, again, from midfield. And if you're Soo High, you got to be happy how the second half has started. You put points on the board. Your defense has really adjusted well. No big plays have been given up. And you're going to get the football back. And if you can put some more points on the board, you can put yourself in pretty good position going in the 4th quarter.
Robinson back to receive for the Blue Devils. Waters with the kick. Another good one. High kick. And Robinson just going to smartly let that one go. It bounces down to the Blue Devil 25-yard line. Soo High will take over from there, leading 16-12 with 3:11 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and a good job there. But, you know, here today, we're, other than the snap over the head of the punter, we've seen pretty good field special teams by Soo High. Ogemaw, on the other hand, their punter isn't that great. I mean, he's punted. That was about a 25-yard punt. You figure if you're punting from your own 50, or from the 50, you're going to pin him inside the 20, inside, try to get it around the 15 or 10. And Soo High's got the ball at the start at 33 and now the 25. So great field position for the Sioux, and right now they're winning that special teams battle.
Yep, and the Blue Devils winning the offensive battle right now, moving the ball very nicely here in this game. 1st and 10, Blue Devils. Davey will hand it off to Pierce, and Pierce is really not going to get much there. Big number 85, Jared Getzinger, in on the tackle. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, once he gets you wrapped up, you're going down, and Getzinger did a nice job from his end position stopping that. But 2nd down again here, long. Just testing that right side a little bit. My gut is here you're going to see a little bit at some point in this drive where you're going to roll Davey back to the left and see if something good can happen, because Ogemaw has had no answers anytime they faked it and rolled to the left.
2:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Soo High with the ball, a 4-point lead, 2nd down and 10. Ball at their own 25-yard line. Now Davey, Pierce in the backfield. Swanson split out to the left. Davey will run to the right. Davey trying to get around it. A nice tackle for a loss. That's number 44, Tristan Miller, for the Falcons. About a 2-yard loss, maybe 1. That's going to bring up 3rd down long.
Maybe trying to fool him a little bit by putting him out to the right side here. But 3rd and long, just don't make a major mistake here. Just try to get some yardage, maybe break a tackle and pick up the 1st down. The big thing here is not make any kind of major mistakes, turnovers here. Worst case scenario, you punt the football back to Ogemaw.
Been a decent breeze throughout this game. Wind's still getting out there. I'd say about 10, 15 miles per hour. Enough to maybe cause some discomfort, but not enough really to affect anything tonight.
No, and as we said earlier, a perfect day for football.
Yeah.
I took a walk around there at halftime, and it's nice down there.
3rd down and 10, Blue Devils, ball at their own 25-yard line. Davey under center. Now rolls to the left. Davey looking downfield. Davey with the pass just out of the reach of number 12, Chris Pearson. So that's going to bring up a punting situation for the Blue Devils as they go 3 and out.
Yeah, 85 Getzinger, again, coming from that left end position, was putting some pressure on Davey. He did have Pierce open, but that was a hard pass on the run to try to thread the needle there. And they're going to force 4th down and punt the football away. So good job by Ogemaw defensively to get that stop. Unfortunately for the Sioux, they're going to have to punt the football away.
Zia Karts, number 10 for the Falcons, rather, and about his own 40-yard line. As number 12, Chris Pierce, set to kick for Soo High. High snap. Pierce will get it, kick it. Not a terrible kick, as that'll be picked up by Kears at his own 40-yard line, and a big hit there. Nice one. Open field tackle by number 5, John Robinson, as the Falcons will have the ball just inside their 45-yard line with 1:20 to play in the third quarter, trailing by 4.
Yeah, and a pretty good kick there. He hung it up in the air, and good coverage by Soo High. Robinson, Ship were coming down the field there in that situation, and did a nice job of containing it. And Ogemaw, though, has had good field position this whole second half. They've been on right around the 50-yard line pretty much the whole second half. They've just been unable to move the football. Credit Soo High's defense for some adjustments here in the second half. Kind of stymied the offense of Ogemaw.
Defense will have to make a play again as Soo High leads by 4. Minute 20 left in the third quarter. Falcons with the ball. Beck with the pass, and that one deflected there. I think that big number 59 got his hands on it, Pat Luan.
Lujan did a nice job from his linebacker because 85 was open. And I've noticed this a couple times. What they do is they put Walters in motion out to the right, and then they look to him, and then they just try to flash the tight end over the middle, hoping to thread the needle there. And that time Lujan did a nice job of knocking that ball down and bringing up second down. I think Soo High has done an outstanding job adjusting here defensively. The big thing is we haven't heard as much from Beck.
No.
They've stopped that little run option. They're allowing Walters to carry the football. They're not allowing Beck to carry it nearly as much.
Yeah, it seems to be the big adjustment, as you mentioned, Pat, at halftime. Soo High's done a good job there. Second down and 10. Ball at the Falcons' 44-yard line. Now Beck under center. One split out to the left. Man in motion in the backfield. And that's going to be not much there as they handed it off on the counter to Walters. As nice tackle there, I believe, by number 71, Dutcherman.
Dutcherman, nice job from his defensive line position. And they're starting to create penetration in there, and we're hearing Lapine a little bit too as well, and coming in there also to make a good tackle. So defensively, Soo High doing a great job right now of stopping the run. You got to figure they're going to put the ball in Beck's hands here, some way rolling him out and see if he can make something happen. The other thing I'm noticing is Ogemaw is very slow at getting plays in. They're down near the end of the play clock on almost every snap.
40 seconds left here in the third quarter. Ogemaw with a long third down, 3rd and 11. 2 split out to the right. I formation. Beck under center will roll to the right. Now he'll sling it and complete. No. Yes, complete. Almost thought he dropped it, but it's a short completion. However, Pat, might be some hit on the quarterback that was illegal. Looks like number 58, Talon Hoffman, maybe a little late on the tackle. I didn't see it.
I was actually watching, and I don't know. I mean, honestly, I looked at it. I mean, it's still football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give them one. I mean, it was one step.
Coach Menard doesn't like it either. But, Pat, we see it in the NFL. We see it in college football. I mean, it's not just here. They're calling it everywhere now.
Oh, yeah, you can't touch a quarterback anymore.
You can't. And as a defender, it really changes your game because I didn't see it, but obviously a lot of fans didn't like that one either. So a break for the Falcons.
I mean, he almost stopped. I mean, did he hit him? Yeah, did he hit him in the helmet, which usually is an automatic call? No, I mean – the kid didn't even go down to the ground, so I'm not positive on it. I'm not one to criticize officials. But.
Big call in this game. Ball at the Soo High 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Now a fumble. No, rather it's a run, and that's now another penalty. I think this one's coming back, Pat. Might have a holding call.
Yeah, I think so. And you know what this is going to be is, I hate to say it, but it's that one where.
Makeup call.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
You see it. As an umpire, I'm not going to lie and say.
I think Beck's down over there on the sideline.
I know the Ogemaw Heights coaching staff was really jumping up and down after that play, and let's hope he's okay, as he is down on the far sideline and is not a whole lot of movement. As Soo High trainer Matt McLeod will make the long. No, he's going to come back. They have their own athletic trainer looking. So
I don't know what we got a flag back here. I don't know if there's a flag over there. Is his leg in the air? He's cramping up maybe more than anything here.
Yeah, he's got the right leg up. There's an initial flag, and I don't know if there is another one. It's a first down as we stand right now.
But this has got to be a holdback in this situation.
I would think so.
Face mask?
Face mask on the Blue Devils. Okay, well, there you go. So it's going to be a first down. As some of the fans voicing their displeasure with some of the crowd, or some of the calls, rather.
Okay, so that's going to – I think they tacked that on after the run. They should. I mean, but and again, there's the same situation. But here, it's one of those things where we watch, and that was a broken play.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's much there, and he comes out of there. Now he's going to pick up first down and add 5. But with this situation, they got to almost bring in their backup quarterback, I would think, because even if it is a cramp, he's got to at least sit out one play.
Yeah. Beck is still down on the far sideline. They bring the cart over as now Matt McLeod, the Soo High trainer, is looking at there. So let's do this. Emily, back in the studio. We're going to take a break here. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we'll be back. 13 seconds left in the third quarter. Soo High with a 16-12 lead. You are listening to Soo High Blue Devil football on 1230 WSOO. Scott Nason, Pat Bennin back at Van Sitters Field. Good news, the player that was injured is up, Calvin Beck, and we're at the end of the third quarter. We'll keep it here, Pat. Our score at the end of the third quarter here at Van Sitters Field, the Soo High Blue Devils with a 16-12 lead. Ogemaw Heights will have it 1st and 10, ball on the Blue Devils' 20-yard line. A good quarter for Soo High there. They limited their mistakes, and they take the lead. Yeah,
they did a nice job, I thought, defensively making some adjustments, really taking the quarterback out of the play a lot and forcing Walters to carry the football more. And then we're able to put a drive together and capitalize and have that 16-12 lead. A couple penalties here, the roughing the passer and a face mask have kind of hurt Soo High. I'm assuming the Beck kid's going to come back. As I'm looking, because there is no backup quarterback position even listed on this roster, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's walking pretty easily over on the far sideline, has his helmet off, so we have the backup quarterback.
Mason, well, go ahead. Tusinga?
Sure, we'll go with that. As number 22, Tusinga will take the snap, maybe just one play. And he's going to hand that. No, he's going to keep it. Nice tackle for a loss there by number 75, Eddington. That'll bring up 2nd and long, and we'll keep an eye on Beck if he comes back out.
Yeah, that's a big injury right now. I mean, first they lost their wide receiver, number 84, Ryan, and now with Beck being out.
Yeah, he's still out.
So Tusinga is going to come in and play, and he's a sophomore.
Yep.
So a very interesting situation. He's not what I would call a prototypical looking quarterback.
No, he reminds me of Jake Lorenz back in
I
Kentucky days. Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Love that guy. So 2nd down and 11 as Tusinga behind center, the sophomore quarterback. And so a big opportunity for him. He'll hand the ball off to Waters and run ahead as number 9 there for the Blue Devils, James Husky, will make the tackle. Gain of about 4 or 5, bring up 3rd down.
And every time he's looking over there to see if the kid's coming back, but he's got his helmet off over there, standing on near the track right now, number 4. And I'm looking, and there's no sign he's coming back real soon.
Not in this series, it appears, Pat. And so, again, opportunity for a sophomore maybe to make a statement here. He's handed the ball off twice. And you spend most of practice using your starting quarterback. Always tough for a team, especially on the road, when this situation happens.
You're absolutely right. And now he's in a 3rd and 5. I mean, it's 2-down territory where they're at. They're going to try to pick this up in 2 down, so a run I would expect.
Tusinga will roll out and throw it. Just off the hands of Gettinger. Not a bad pass. It was a little high, tough to take in, but that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and 4th down and 6, and you got to be covering again. I would expect that. Don't be shocked here if they look for that tight end. They're going to look for Gettinger somewhere in here, and I'm still looking over there, and I don't know.
I don't think he's coming back.
I don't either, and that's a huge break for Soo High. I'll be honest with you, because 22, Tusinga might be a sophomore, but he is not as fast or as elusive as number 4 is.
Totally changes the game in the offense for the Falcons. 4th down and 6, 10:31 to play in the 4th quarter. Soo High leading by 4, looking to make a big stop at their own 17-yard line. Tusinga under center, 2 split out to the left for the Falcons. Now he's going to roll to the right and throw. Off the hands again of number 85, Jared Gettinger. It would have been a tough catch, but one that definitely the Falcons would like to have back.
Yeah, he was open. He just threw behind him, and on that, we've had some rain. The field is holding up well, but his footing went out from underneath him, and he wasn't able to stop and try to grab that football. Big break for Soo High. Stops him on 4th down. A lot of time still left to go, but they got the ball back and stopped a pretty good drive of Ogemaw, albeit with a little bit of help with the injury to the quarterback.
This is where you want one of those time-consuming drives for the Blue Devils. Ball at their own 17-yard line, 1st and 10, 10:27 to play in the 4th quarter. Soo High looking to go 4-1 on the season. They lead by 4. It's 16-12. Now Davey under center, tight formation, 1 split out to the right, counter play. And the nice one there, that's Husky. He's going to get the 1st down for the Blue Devils as he'll be brought out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Nice play call there.
Yeah, nice job by Husky, and this is as good as I've seen him run. And Dave and I talked about it the last couple of weeks, where we see him go a lot of east and west. Right now, he's seeing the hole and he's turning it up and running north and south very well right now. Husky is, and picking up some good yardage.
Blue Devils move the chains, 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Big injury on that last series. Quarterback Calvin Beck, while he was running out of bounds, came up with an injury. He's still on the sideline. He's moving around, but we'll see if he comes back. Soo High doesn't want him to come back. They want to run this clock out in a 10-minute drive, ideally. 1st down, they'll hand it off to Pierce up the middle. Pierce avoids a couple tackles. He'll move ahead. Still fighting, as he's going to get a good gain there. That's what you want on a 1st down run on a drive like this, Pat.
Yeah, and that's where these big linemen of Soo High start pounding ahead a little bit, as he's going to
come up a little slow. His helmet came off as well, and so Chris Pierce.
I don't know if he got stepped on. He's had a calf injury once already this year, and it kind of looks like the same area.
Yeah, he's down on the field. He is up on his knees as trainer Matt McLeod's been a busy guy today. As Pierce now, looks like he says his back. He pointed to his back, and you might be right, Pat. When a play like that, it's easy to get stepped on when you got 5 or 6 guys trying to tackle you.
And the thing I'm seeing right now is Soo High offensive line, and this is what I talked about earlier in the game. They got good size up there, and that starts to wear on a defensive line. They keep getting all that hitting straight ahead, because Soo High does not throw the ball a ton. They've thrown it a little bit more today, and with a lot of success, as Davey's thrown the ball extremely well. But that pounding of the running a game is starts to wear on the defense, and you're starting to see it more and more every play right now, and they're starting to pick up huge chunks of yardage right through the middle.
So the clock will start again. 9:40 to play in this 4th quarter. Blue Devils with the ball at their own 36-yard line. 2nd down and 3, leading by the score of 16-12. Pierce looks to be okay. He's on the sideline right now, I believe, after the injury. Now 2 in the backfield for the Blue Devils. Swanson split out to the left. Motion. Davey. Nope, fumble on the snap. I think the Blue Devils got it back. Did they? No, they did not. Another turnover, the 3rd for the Blue Devils, and the Falcons are back in business, Pat.
Yeah, the critical turnover there in that spot. You know, you're 2nd and short. That's the one thing you can't do. I don't think the snap ever got to Davey.
I don't think so, no.
And then the ball bounced ahead quite a bit. And, again, we're seeing Beck over on he's done for the day from the looks of it. He's not even putting his helmet back on.
You can tell by his body language that he wasn't coming back.
And,
so,
you got to figure a senior, there's got to be something pretty wrong with him. Otherwise, you're 3-1.
Yeah, exactly. So the Falcons back in business. Ball just outside the 40-yard line of the Blue Devils. Sophomore quarterback Mason Tusinga in for the Falcons. Now he's going to drop back. He's going to launch it downfield. A good ball, but just out of the reach. Good coverage there. A little contact as James Husky was draped all over the receiver for the Falcons. Bring up 2nd down.
Nice job of Husky staying with the man. They did not bite on the play action, and good coverage by Soo High secondary, staying with the wide receiver. And there was a little bit of contact.
Sure.
Both guys are going for the ball. Maybe in the NFL they throw the flag because you breathed on the receiver wrong, but that was good coverage.
So 2nd down and 10. 9:08 to play in this 4th quarter. As the Falcons again slowly get the calls out in the field. It cost them once and cost them big a couple possessions ago.
And with a new quarterback, you got to figure it's taking even a little bit longer.
So 2nd and 10. As quarterback will roll, and he's going to be swashed by number 20, Chase Hilgendorf. A big loss as Hilgendorf got in quickly, and sophomore quarterback just couldn't get away.
Now, and Hilgendorf's played a whale of a football game. We've called his name a lot offensively and defensively, and that job from the right defensive end blows that play up. And you could see number 22, he likes to throw the football, but he doesn't have the elusiveness that Beck had, and Hilgendorf wrapped him up. Huge loss, and going to bring up 3rd and real long now for Ogemaw.
3rd down and 20 for the Falcons, and I don't know during practice this week, Pat, if they had many 3rd down and 20 plays written up for the sophomore quarterback.
I highly doubt it. I don't even know.
I doubt it as well. So Tusinga under center. Tough situation for the Falcons. Clock at 8:15 and running. As they're just going to hand it off up the middle and a run to the far sideline. Not a bad gain. He's going to get about half of that back and then some. So all of a sudden, Pat, you have a much more manageable, albeit fourth down and about 8, but a much more manageable fourth down.
Yeah, and you got to figure on their inside on Soo High's 40, this is 4-down territory.
Yeah.
It looked like a broken play to me.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of guys running into each other in the backfield, and they've gotten a lot of broken plays today. Their one touchdown Beck scored, it looked like a broken play, and he was able to break a couple tackles and score. So fourth down here, just got to stay contained. You still got a 4th and 9. So
Huge
Soo
play
High.
here, Pat. 4th and 9. Kasinga under center for the Falcons. He's going to drop back, pass, wrapped up, incomplete, big hit. Oh, they're going to call it a fumble, Pat? It looked like it was incomplete. Either way, Soo High's going to get it right about there anyway.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I thought the same thing. I guess
Basil Moran with the big hit.
Yeah, well played by Basil Moran. They've been running that little motion out to the flat by the running back and normally looking for the tight end, but good pressure again by Hilgendorf, forces a tough pass. Moran comes up, knocks it, makes a nice tackle. I don't know if they call it a fumble or not. I don't know if he made what they call a football move or not. But
didn't look like he had it very long. But either way, Soo High will take it. Big play there by Moran and the defense.
Yeah, nice stop and good job of stepping up. And now you want to see him put that time-consuming drive together.
And hold on to the ball if you're the Blue Devils. They've dropped it 3 times, but still lead by 4. Not very often you lose the turnover battle and win the game, but Soo High in position to do just that. Now Davey, first down, will give it to Pierce. Pierce, maybe a yard on the play. Big hit again. As that was, I believe, number 19, Ben Schneider, bring up second down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They just can't turn the football over, and they've turned it over 3 times, and yet they're still up 16-12. If you're the coaching staff, every time you hand it off, you're telling them to get both hands on the football, wrap it up when you're going to contact.
And even in a situation like this, Pat, especially with the quarterback out of the game, if you go 3 and out and you punt, that's still not the worst thing that could happen.
Right.
Just don't turn over the ball. Second down and 10, no gain on the play. Now Davey rolls near side, looking, pass, complete, nice one. Good game there as the pass goes to Ryan LaPlante, the sophomore, and that's going to bring up third down and about 4, ball just about at midfield.
And guess which way they rolled them?
Yes,
to the left.
To the left, yeah.
To the left, and it's wide open, and that time LaPlante coming out of the backfield, got it in the intermediate range, completed pass, and it's going to make them a nice little third down, and it's very manageable for Soo High.
Yeah, third down and 3, ball at the Blue Devil 49-yard line, 6:35 to play in the fourth quarter. Soo High with a 16-12 lead. Now the Blue Devils run to center. Davey under center. Number 58, Thalen Hoffman will hike the ball here for the Blue Devils. Now man in motion near side. Davey will hand it off to Pierce. Pierce with the first down run. That's how you do it. Run forward, hold on to the ball, move the chains.
Yeah, and I like the side they're running behind. I like when they go to Eddington's side and they get a good surge there, and then he lowered his shoulder. And the other thing, he had both hands wrapped around the football.
Yep,
I think
absolutely.
they've been told on that sideline, 2 hands on the football right now.
Ball just outside the 45-yard line of the Falcons. Clock will start here momentarily. 6:11 to play here in the fourth quarter. Blue Devils in good position right now. They just want to chew some clock and hang on to the ball. Now Pierce behind Davey. Davey taking his time. Will take the snap. Will hand it off to Pierce, running to the near side. Gain of about 3. 3 players in on the tackle for the Falcons, including number 44, Tristan Miller.
Yeah, this is a hard-hitting football game. I hear some people, but I mean, this is a very physical football game being played out there right now. This is not a game for the weak right now. You better be running hard and be ready for some contact because both teams are hitting hard.
And these teams won't be any strangers, Pat, because next year they'll be in the same league. Northern Michigan Football League,
right.
Ogemaw Heights and the Blue Devils will both join that next year. Second down and 5, ball just outside the 40-yard line of the Falcons. 5:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Blue Devils with a 4-point lead. Davey under center, Pierce in the backfield. Now Davey again smartly taking his time. In no rush here. Hand it off to Pierce, running that side, getting positive yards, still going. As he's going to be held up there, but boy, running to this near side, the left side, Pat, is working wonders. Going to bring up third and short.
That's where Soo High's had a tremendous amount of success on offense is that left side. Running behind it on the left side, rolling Davey out to the left side. Going to bring up a third and a very, very manageable 1 yard. situation here for Soo High, and I like what Davey's doing, man. He's taking the play clock down. That's a kid that's in his second year of being a quarterback. He's looking back there, watching the back judge, watching his hand, not snapping it too early because the clock is our friend right now.
Ball just outside the 35-yard line, called the 36. 3rd down and 1, 4:40 and counting. Ogemaw Heights with 2 timeouts. Soo High wants to milk that clock. Now Davey under center, again taking his time. He'll hand it. No, he will hand it to Pierce. He's up to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Blue Devils. A 36-yard run by Chris Pierce.
And a great cutback by Pierce. That play started out on the right-hand side. He cut it back to the left. Give credit to that offensive line all the way around the board. He made a great block on the right side to pick up the first down and then was able to cut back to the left. Good block out here. I didn't catch the number, but a wide receiver, I believe, came down and made a great block to spring him to the corner. Touchdown, and that's a huge score for Soo High. To go up 10, backup quarterback in for Ogemaw. You're in pretty good shape right now.
You're in very good shape, Pat. A 10-point lead for the Blue Devils. Soo High's been a perfect 2 for 2 on 2-point conversions, and both have gone to Bennett Swanson. He's out to the left side. Davey under center. You know, the whole coaching staff is probably looking for that same play. Davey looking again. He's going to keep it this time for a 2-point conversion.
And they have no answer for that. They just don't. I mean, it's really putting the corner out on an island. They fake it to the right. The flow goes that way, and then Davey comes back to his left, and the corner is manned up on Swanson. He's either got to make a decision, go with Swanson, or try to tackle Davey. That time he stayed with Swanson. Davey did the smart thing and tucked it up and ran it in. And that's 3 straight times on a 2-point conversion they've scored on that play. And that's been their best weapon on offense as well. So great drive by Soo High. 24-12. You got to figure with 4 minutes and 22 seconds, barring anything strange here, they're in pretty good shape the way their defense is playing. And give them some credit. They made some adjustments. They gave up 12 points in the first half, and they haven't allowed a whole lot of anything. I don't know how many first downs they've actually allowed other than on penalties this half.
Yeah. And, I'm going to ask you a question here once we get another break as far as Soo High quarterbacks like Jacob Davey of going back. Have we ever seen someone like him? He just brings so much difference, such a different perspective to the position here at Soo High. Kickoff, and we're going to have a flag on the kickoff. Ogemaw Heights will get good field position, but I think that one might come back a little bit there, Pat. But who knows tonight? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you gotta wait and see.
Preface that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We're gonna talk it over, but I would think that's got to be a block, but I've been wrong all day.
Yeah, so. Me too. So let's see what our officials say. Soo High's due for a break, and I think, I don't know.
That's a chop block.
Yep.
But I don't know what way. I mean, he gives no signal going if it's going against him.
Well, I guess it depends which way the ball goes now, and it's going to be going the other way. So, talking about Jacob Davey, Pat, you've been around this team a long time doing broadcasts, going to Soo High. We just never have really seen, at least to my knowledge, a quarterback quite like Jacob Davey, and he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, I agree there. I think with some of the other quarterbacks, I think they've had pretty good quarterbacks over the year. I wouldn't want to take anything away.
Sure.
We've had a few playoff teams. The one thing that those teams had were a lot of explosive backs. I think this quarterback's asked to do more just because we don't have that breakaway back type capability right now.
So here we go. Falcons with the ball. Their backup quarterback with the ball. He's going to roll to the left, and that pass might have been deflected. And again, I think we're going to see possibly another late hit. A flag was dropped.
I don't know what he's going to call.
Soo High clapped after that, so maybe
it's got to be a hold because the only kid down was a lineman. Yeah, there we go.
So now Soo High getting the breaks on the calls as well, and that's going to move it back and just not going Ogemaw Heights' way here back in the second half.
And, I think the critical thing was the run by the quarterback where he looked like he got hurt on the play. I don't know if he cramped up or what he did there, but, that put him out of the football game. And honestly, we've talked about it, but I'm guessing, I was trying to go through the roster because I was guessing who the backup quarterback was.
Yeah,
they don't have one listed.
No.
So, I'm thinking they weren't planning on playing the sophomore a lot here, and they're forced to be put in that situation. And a tough situation for him, big break for Soo High, and now they're facing first and a mile.
First and 26. Falcons with the ball, pass deflected at the line. Not sure who got that one. Pat might have been number 58, Thalen Hoffman, second down.
And where he was going to go with it, I think he's lucky it was deflected because Lujan was sitting there waiting for it right where he was going to go, and that might have been a pick six.
College football, Pat, Michigan State up on Indiana 21-14 heading to halftime. Clemson and North Carolina tied at 14, and Virginia leading at Notre Dame 17-14.
I saw that on ESPN Game Day. I mean, Corso wasn't calling the upset special, but a couple people were a little bit worried. Said you'd learn a lot about Notre Dame today.
Yes, indeed. Alabama 31, Ole Miss 10. Very good all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good scoreboard right there.
I know I'm excited for Alabama.
Good scoreboard right here.
Best team college football can buy.
I'm a big Saban guy. Go back to the Michigan State days.
Oh, sure.
Second down and 20 once he started winning championships.
Were you fired up when he was with the Dolphins?
No, not at all.
Wait, you're a Saban guy.
On my eliminator pick, I'm picking everybody who plays Miami, by the way, this year. That'll work until they play the division teams twice, but boy, how's that team not going to go 0-16?
They're trying.
They play the Jets.
That's going to be
the one. That might be the one.
You have to pick winners every week.
Yeah, but you can't pick the same team.
I'm in one where you have to pick losers every week. I'm trying to hang on to the Dolphins.
I like that. Who do you got this week?
Well, I had to gamble. I rolled the dice.
Okay.
And I'm not sold on my pick.
Okay.
I took Cleveland Browns to lose in Baltimore.
Man, Mayfield having a little bit of a sophomore slump so far. I picked him in my fantasy team.
I didn't look 1 week ahead, and I think the Jets are on a bye week this week.
They are.
Yeah, that hurt.
Jets in the Niners.
So now I was stuck. And I can't lie. I'm in with a couple other people, so we picked 3 teams.
Okay.
So I didn't look quick enough, and they took Tampa right away.
Yeah.
He's playing in the Rams.
Yeah.
But I'm not sold on that one either because famous Jameis could go off.
Gurley's don't even get me started on him. Second down and 26. Falcons ball at their own 16, trailing by 12. Now a pass up the middle, complete. That's Caleb Gleason, and Gleason's going to get outside the 25-yard line. Pretty good gain there. Good tackle by the Blue Devil player. Bring up third down.
Yeah, that was a little inside screen pass there, and I think third down, as you said, third and, a long ways, 20 or 18. I don't know.
Sure.
That's not good.
Third and long. That was Swanson in on the tackle for the Blue Devils. Third down, and Ogemaw Heights going to have to score twice, and really tough for them right now.
Yeah, and if you're Soo High, you're just keeping everything in front of you.
Now Tusinga rolls to the far side, pass off the hands of Tyler Walters, incomplete. And so fourth down here, Pat, 3:25 to play. This one is not successful. This game's over.
Yeah, and again, if you're Soo High, you'll give anything up underneath. You'll give up the little 5-7 yard pass play and make the tackle at the before they get the first down. You just nothing behind you, no big plays. Even if they pick up the first down, it's not the end of the world because you got to take more time off.
So fourth down and 16. This is pretty much it for the Falcons. Tusinga rolls back, drops back rather, and is going to keep it. He gets tripped up there by number 52, James Tessimer, and that's pretty much going to do it. The Soo High Blue Devils are going to improve to 4-1 on the season. Barring a collapse of epic proportions, they lead by the score of 24-12.
Yeah, and I think a great response by Soo High, especially coming out of the half. They had kind of played sloppy. We said it. They had a sloppy first half. They played a lot better. Yes, they've had one fumble here in the second half, but I think defensively they've tackled better. Offensively, they've been more decisive of what they're going to do, and you got to give them credit. They've made the right adjustments. They're up 24-12 in the driver's seat, and we talked about it. This is a good push for the playoffs.
Absolutely. So the Blue Devils now will just want to run out the clock here. Davey under center. First and 10. Blue Devils leading 24-12. Coming up, we'll have our post-game show. We'll recap the scoring, look ahead to the next game, and get out here and enjoy a beautiful evening in Sault Ste. Marie. Blue Devils have played some beautiful football, and they continue to, as a nice run by Ryan LaPlante. He's going to get close to the first down, about a 9-yard gain, bring up second down.
And LaPlante's only a sophomore, and him and Davey are going to make a nice 1-2 punch down the road here. You're at that point in the game where you start looking at some of the younger kids that are coming in, and LaPlante and Davey, as this gets going, are going to be a nice little complimentary back. And you keep looking here, and their line is pretty experienced.
Yeah.
Soo High's. That's where their strength is. They've got some young kids in the backfield that they're gonna make some noise as this continues on.
Second down and 3 for the Blue Devils. 2:35 to play in the fourth quarter. Davey under center. Pierce in the backfield. Now Pierce going to run. He'll get about a yard, bring up third down. One of the things I noticed, Pat, at halftime, Soo High, not a good first half. They give up that late score. They fumbled quite. Coach Menard, he was clapping his hands. He was positive. He was hitting the players on the back. Not a lot of negativity, and obviously that's carried over this second half.
No, and I think as a coach there, I think he realized that they weren't. They were more or less beating themselves. They weren't getting beat. They were beating themselves, and I think just that. Hey, we got to pick our heads up and. We're better than this. Don't let this bring us down. And that's what they've come out and done. I mean, and they've made the right decisions, right adjustments, and they've played a very good second half of football.
Just one more home game after this in 2 weeks. Week from Friday, the Blue Devils will take on Rogers City, so they'll go on the road for 3 of their last 4, including the next one Friday night in Gladstone. Now we're going to have a timeout for the Blue Devils with 1:38 to play. So, Pat, you look at the math right now. Soo High's going to win this one, go to 4-1. They need 2 out of 4. Gladstone on the road, Rogers City at home, Ludington on the road, Gaylord on the road. It looks like that Rogers City one, you hate to say going to be a victory, but Rogers City's 0-5 and struggling, so you need one of the other 3 teams. Which team you think Soo High has the best chance against? You knew I was going there. I like to roll the dice and prognosticate, so
I like their chances at all 3.
Yeah.
That's riding the fence.
That's a good one.
Yeah. No, I do like their chances at all 3. I think this victory will propel them to that situation. But it's one of those things. It's not locked in.
No.
You got 3 games on the road.
Yep.
Gladstone's going to be a tough foe. Here's the thing. I think they're going to win 2 out of those 3. And I think you're saying the last home game is going to be Rogers City. I think we're going to end up hosting one playoff football game.
At this pace, you got it.
See, I don't ride the fence. I make a
get the
decision.
map out again. You want me to get the map out again?
Yeah, I'm not a typical politician. I'll tell you where I stand on this. And I'm going to say we're going to get 7 wins.
Very good, Pat. Very good. That's why we pay you the big bucks here.
Yeah.
12:30 WSOO.
When does that come?
I'm still waiting myself.
Yeah,
Third
it's
down
down
to
at South
3.
Bend with Watson.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Now here's a run by Pearson. Good job to stay in bounds. And that should pretty much do it. Soo High will have a first down, 1:32 left. I doubt that Ogemaw Heights will use their timeouts, and Soo High's going to win this one. It's Coach Menard. He was yelling something upstairs there. I don't know.
We got to wait till we wind it. We can't do anything until he tells us to wind it.
Tony Dertoli, our clock manager.
He didn't tell him to wind it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've been around these broadcasts. The clock, the person that does the clock, I have ultimate respect for. That's worse than AD. I got to be honest.
I would think
that's tough.
Soo High will take a knee if it was me, but I would assume. But maybe they're going to try to punch it in.
Well, you look at next year, Pat. I don't know if the playoff formula will include margins of victory, but you being a
Oh, that's right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, do you want to take a knee at this point?
Oh, it's at the point where it's the...
And here we go. Nice leap to fumble again. Spears lost it. And you don't want to do anything foolish here, Pat. You want to just get out with the victory. Don't put yourself in a position to get injured.
Right, that's what I was thinking here. And then the other thing I look at, and I haven't really studied the playoffs for next year, but it looks like you actually can benefit by losing.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Depends who you play.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know if losing's necessarily a good thing, but apparently it will be. I mean, it's the way society's going.
We'll have to. You're exactly right. We'll have to see how we'll all get participation medals.
Yeah, you're going to feel good. You lost, but look at all the points you got today.
Don't offend anyone, please. 30 seconds. We agree on so much. It's great. 30 seconds left here in this game. Blue Devils are going to win, improve to 4-1 on the season. We'll go to our post game as we'll take a knee. Pat Bennin, final thoughts before we let you go for the night.
You know, I think Soo High did a great job coming out here in the second half, making outstanding adjustments. A nice win on senior day to go to 4-1. I think they played pretty sound football the second half. The first half was shaky at best, but they didn't hang their heads, and I think that's something you talked about with what Coach Menard was doing on that sideline, keeping them positive, and that's a good thing. A good win. It should be interesting up in Gladstone next week, and then back here for homecoming. I hope we have at least two more. I got a gut feeling they'll have a home playoff football game, but none of the coaches will ever want me to say that until they get the 6 wins.
Exactly. Hey, Pat, our first time doing a game together was a lot of fun. Hope to do this again. Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we're going to take a break here and go to our post-game show. Our final score, the Soo High Blue Devils improved to 4-1 on the season as they defeat Ogemaw Heights by the score of 24-12. Scott Nason back at Van Sitters Field. The Soo High Blue Devils are on the field, going to the center of the field. Going to plant the flag after a 24-12 victory over the Ogemaw Heights Falcons. Let's recap the scoring. The Falcons got on the board first in the first quarter. Calvin Beck with a 2-yard touchdown run, 2-point conversion, no good. The Falcons led by the score of 6-0. It was 6-0 after one quarter. Soo High would drive the ball deep into Falcons territory a couple times, fumble both times, but they would eventually get a touchdown on a 1-yard touchdown run by Chris Pierce. 2-point conversion good. Davey DeSwanson, it was 8-6 Blue Devils. It looked like they were going to hold that lead into the halftime break, but Calvin Beck would get his second touchdown of the afternoon, a 61-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion, no good. And at halftime, the Blue Devils trailed by the score of 12-8. But credit the coaching staff for making some big adjustments, as Pat Bennin said, and the Blue Devils would hold and, well, really control the second half. They would take the lead in the third quarter. 5:15 left in the third quarter. Jacob Davey, a 4-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion. Davey DeSwanson again good. And it was 16-12 Blue Devils. Then Ogemaw Heights would have a big injury to their quarterback, Calvin Beck, who was running the ball down the far sideline. He got injured, and that really tipped the scales, along with the Blue Devils' play, to their victory. And they would ice the game on a 36-yard touchdown run by Chris Pierce with 4:22 left in the fourth quarter. 2-point conversion, good by Davey. And that's our final score. Soo High 24, Ogemaw Heights 12. With the win, the Blue Devils improved to 4-1 on the season. Just 2 more victories will make them officially playoff eligible. And their next game, our next broadcast, Dave Watson will be back for this one in Gladstone next Friday night, 7 o'clock. Dave will have the pregame show around 6:45 as the Blue Devils will take on Gladstone. Ogemaw Heights now 3-2 on the season. They'll be at home to Sheboygan next Friday night. Well, that's going to do it here from A.J. Van Sitter's Field. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening. Don't forget, you can hear the podcast of this broadcast on the website, thegamesportshow.com. Tonight, Sioux Greyhounds hockey on our sister station, Rock 101 with Jerry Liscombe Jr. as the Hounds will be in Saginaw. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. pregame show on our sister station, Oldies 93. Detroit Lions will take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And on ESPN 1400, Monday night at 6 o'clock, we'll have our local, regional, and national sports show, The Game, with yours truly, along with Dave McKeag, Butch Davis, E.J. Russell, and a cast of thousands. Want to thank Pat Bennin joining me for the broadcast. Also want to thank our broadcast engineer back in the 1230 WSOO studios, Emily Pentecost, doing a great job as always. That's going to do it here from Van Sitter's Field. Once again, our final score, Soo High 24, Ogemaw Heights 12. You have been listening to Soo High Blue Devil Football here on 1230 WSOO.